Let's go. What up, everybody? Let's see. Amazing. What is going on, folks? Hey, what's up, everybody? Let's try and put my ears on. See if this will work.
Guys, do a sound check. That's good. Nice. What's going on, you guys? Welcome. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Tonight, we are talking about a chapter in Revelation, Revelation 2, chapter 11. And I can read that. It says, He that hath an ear, let him hear what the spirits say unto the churches. He that overcometh shall not be hurt of the second death. So, Labola's here. Nice, brother. Welcome. So, that being said, what's the first death? That's what we're talking about tonight. In Revelations 2:11, it speaks of the second death. And I'm curious what you guys think the first death is. I'm pretty sure I'm curious of what everybody thinks except for Labola, because I think I know what he thinks. But who knows? I could be wrong, Labola. So don't hold back, brother. Oh, Labola coming in hot. The first death is the death of the ego. Boy, oh boy. Speaking of which, I read all of Revelations. I read the book of Revelations today. Ish was in here. We were talking about this last night, and he asked me if I believed that Revelations was prophecy of what's to come or whether it was what's already happened. And I told him that it's what already happened, that it's not a prophecy of what's to come. It's a story of a telling of exactly what happened. And he was like, "Oh, that's interesting." And I said, "We should really have a fellowship about this and talk about it." And so I know Toots a Bible thumper now. Geez, what's wrong with me? And so I just thought I told him, I was like, well, I want to do my research and make sure that, I come with everything that, I possibly can. And so I read the book of Revelations, and it definitely 100% confirmed that we were right, that it's definitely the story of what's already happened. It is not a tale, a prophecy to come. I struggle to even wrap my mind of how somebody could get that from it, but I'm sure somebody said it somewhere sometime down the line and people liked it. It sounded good and they were like, ooh, that's good. And then it just became, some king somewhere along the line said, yeah, that's definitely what it is. It's a prophecy of the future. Now let's just go and believe in that. And that's got to be how it happened, because I don't see it. I can see it tells the exact story of what happened before Jesus came, and then the resurrection, and then what happened after Jesus came, and then the return of Jesus and his stay on earth through the 40 days after the return, and then his ascension, and then, um, you know, the return of God to the people. I mean, it's all right there. Yeah, don't read too much into it. You're for sure right about that, but it is all right there, man. and then the people will return to God, and the God will be with the people again. I mean, I don't know, man. It's clear as day to me. So it's wild how, when we get away from just reading it, where the interpretation takes us, right, Labola? Man, people get so far out there on it, and it just seems to me like it's so simple. I think it's because I don't have that real super religious background that was, forced into a lot of us at a younger age. So I didn't have that set in me already to where I knew that that was the way it was. And so I didn't have to overcome that. So that was good. But tonight I had a great conversation with my son. We've been talking. We had a great talk tonight. And man, he's really trying to see what's going on. That's for sure. Ooh, what is the second death? Nice, brother. Are you asking me really, or are you just saying for the chat? I don't know if I want to answer. What is the second death? That's nice, brother. That is nice. And it says that he that overcometh shall not be hurt of the second death. Isn't that deep? You have nothing as long as you've suffered the first death and you've gone through it. And you've had the death of the ego, and you're born again of the Father. Then when the second death comes and you drop that body, you won't hurt a bit. It will not hurt you a bit. Let's see. Dune. I don't even know how to read that, man. But Dune says hot bath. Amazing. Sounds good. Sounds much better than a lukewarm bath. I guess you go with a cold bath. Looking in Revelations, it says what the second death is in the last couple of chapters. Yeah, they definitely talk about it in that metaphorical sense for sure. But I think what people interpret it as is not what it says, though. So you see how hell is in their death, maybe even a few pieces of gold, and it's called the second death. Yeah. There is no second death. The ego is the only death. Ah, very nice, Labola. Amazing. Nice. Yeah, the second death doesn't hurt because you don't really die, for sure. Everlasting life. But definitely that is when you drop the body, when you drop the earthly part. Let's see, John says this is the second death, is what it says. Yeah. You want me to open the Bible and give you the truth? Well, I just read Revelations, so I read every bit of it. The Bible, though, if you think that the truth comes from the Bible, you've already lost the battle, my friend. The truth comes from God, not the Bible. God may reveal the truth to you in the Bible, but just because you read the Bible, people aren't going to get the truth from that, my friend. So you can do it if you want, and you can definitely read the Bible here if you want. It's fine. Put the passages up there. I'll read them out loud. I have no problem with that. But the truth doesn't come from a person. Trust no man, only trust God. Read the part that says this. If you write it, I'll read it. I already read it today, so I've already done my part. But I always say to people that if you do the work, you put in the work, I'll put in the work. If you copy and paste it, I will read it, no problem. Or if you write it out, I'll read it. Yeah, just look it up and throw it in there. Labola says the only death there is when you drop who you think you are, the thought of who you think you are. Nice, Labola. That is the only real death. You know, the body death isn't even real, man. Love by above. Revelations 20:14, and death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death. What does that mean? Loved by above. I would be very interested to know what you guys think that means. And if that's the case, what's the first death? I know Lavola said already, but what's the first death then? If that's the second death. And the death of what then? What's dying there? Loved by above. Have you ever looked deeply into that then? What is it that's dying there? What are they talking about, you guys? Too much negotiation, sovereignty doesn't bend. Amazing. Let's see. Andy says, "Hey, you, my Khalifa." All right. Amazing. Well, the first step is to forgive. Did someone ask that? Did I miss something? The first step in what? I mean, you're right. I'm not arguing with it. I'm just curious as to what you're talking about. After the judgment of Christ is hell. Hmm. Very interesting. For who? I'm still very interested to know who you're talking about. Let's see. Love by above says 2 Corinthians 5:10. For we must all appear before the judgment seat of Christ, that everyone may receive the things done in his body according to that he hath done, whether it be good or bad. God's own go-to kingdom. Hmm. All right. Amazing. Thank you. Lavola, you can't find any peace until you forgive. That's the first step. Well, yeah, that's for sure. I agree with that. I just was wondering why you were saying it. Like I didn't know if I missed something or somebody said something or what was going on. Or are you talking about the first death? Because that's what I was asking about. What's the first? But you already answered that. So no, that's not what you're talking about. I already know you already talked about what the first death was. Why does he mention the second death? Why is there two deaths mentioned? And let's see. And also love by above, is that only after death, or can you appear before the judgment of Christ in life, in the body right now? This is nice. It's not the first death, it's the only death, the ego. Labola, I get what you're saying, brother, but definitely it says it speaks of the second death. And so I totally get what you're saying. But if that's the case, what is it speaking of? Because please do tell me, what is it speaking of when it says the second death, then Labola? Biblically speaking, of course. I know we don't get into the Bible like this very often, but this just this is exactly why I wanted to talk about this. This is very deep. Let's see. The first death is at rest, awaiting Christ's return. Those saints dead arise first, then the living. Hmm. Boy, oh boy, I just read Revelations. I did not read any of that. Zachary says, "Yo, bro, looks like Palm Beach Pete." All right, amazing. I'll take it as a compliment. Love by above says Judgment Day. When is Judgment Day? When is that? Love by above, hang on. Okay, amazing. Absolutely amazing, you guys. Labola says Revelation is an acid trip. I'll tell you, when you read it, it definitely reads that way. That's for sure. But I think it's more about the story of it than looking into each thing. When you get into that intellect side of it, where they start deciphering, oh, the seven heads and these countries and all of this stuff, man, that's when you get into that intellectual side of it and you totally lose God in that moment. Let's see. Cattertooth says, my boy Palm Beach Pete is another name for Epstein. Nice, man. Well, God bless him. Love by above before second death. Okay. I'm not sure if I understand exactly what you're saying. So Cattertooth says, you don't even look like him though. All right. Amazing. Well, God isn't in the Bible. He's in you. I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. What do you think though they were talking about, Labola, when they say the second coming? I'm sorry, they say the second death. It's very interesting how it's worded and how it's the second death, and you'll feel no pain from it. Cattertree says, bro, what? Kevin, what's going on? The Palm Beach Pete thing isn't good. Guy is being mean. I don't know how. Everything is good, man. He can't be mean to me. I love the dude. So whatever he's trying to do, it's inside of him, Kevin, and it sure isn't in me, and it don't bother me a bit. We love him. We love you, Cattertoo. Love by Above says, read one. I, I don't have a Bible, you guys. I don't sit here and read Bible verses. This isn't a Bible um, verse session to go back and forth. If you want something read, just put in the work, copy and paste it, write it out. I'll read it. But you got to put in the work if you want me to put in the work. I don't sit here and go back and forth in the Bible and do that. What I talk about here comes from the heart, comes from within. Kevin says your attitude is always so awesome and infectious. Nice, brother. Well, I mean, God, He wants me to love just like He loves me, man, with that perfect unconditional love. Even when I make a mistake and I falter and I lose myself to the thoughts, God doesn't judge me. He still loves me just the same. And I just have to, He wants me to do the exact same as that. So Bull says maybe the second death is when you drop your body. Nice, Labola. Amazing. That's definitely what I took from it with reading it. And again, this is the first time I've ever read Revelations all the way through from beginning to end, you guys. So, um, you know, the way it's worded and everything, I mean, it'll take me a minute of reading it before God reveals every single little tiny detail within it. But I can already see that it is definitely not a prophecy of the future, that it is a tale of what has already happened. It is done. It even says in it, where is that? Here, actually, let's read it. Let's read it, you guys. Where is it? Revelation 16:17. And the seventh angel poured out his vial into the air, and there came a great voice out of the temple of heaven from the throne saying, it is done. You guys, it's done. It's over with. There is no future prophecy to that. So no matter how bad people want it to be that, that's not what it was. Let's see. Love by Above says 16, for the Lord himself shall descend from the heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trump of God, and the dead in Christ shall rise first. Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air, and so shall we ever be with the Lord. Okay, I understand that. I don't know what you're getting at by putting that though, unless you're trying to say that that house somehow points to like um, the rapture or something like that. But God don't see time like that. You're going to meet God. We're all dying. We're all going to meet God. You're going to face the trumpet of God. You're going to face the voice of the archangel. You're going to face all of that. But it's not what you think, that there's just this big moment that everybody's waiting for. I don't know why they're waiting for that. Everybody's dying. God doesn't see time. It all happens in one moment. Everybody's dying to God. Everybody's dying right now and coming to Him. It's happening right now. That is just something to make people feel good about it. When they want to think of, ooh, the rapture and he's going to come, it's already done. Why would God send Jesus again? Why would he do that? It is done. It is, he sent him. We're saved from our sins. We're returning to the Father. He's given us the choice. We can do it ourselves. It is done. There's nothing else to it, you guys. Stop waiting for it. I can tell you that. Oh, let's see. Lobola says it's always been done. It was done before Jesus. Amazing. They just didn't know it. They couldn't see it within themselves. Jesus came and fixed that, though. Love by Above says that is future prophecy. Every knee will bow when he returns. He already returned, Love Above. Every knee already bowed. Jesus came back. I don't know. Like I said, I read it and it was clear as day. His return has already happened. That's exactly what happened. He returned to finish his father's business. It's already done, Loved by Above. It is done. It's absolutely amazing. It's beautiful. He has returned to save us. That's over with. Okay. Whatever you say, Loved by Above. God bless you. I know that some priest or pastor or reverend or minister has beat that into people's heads their whole lives. So if that's what you believe, there's nothing I can do about it. Can't do anything about that. Lobola says, deep hell isn't a place, it's all around us. That's definitely true. We are in hell right now. If you haven't overcome, if you're in that fallen state, you're living in hell right now. Yeah, well, I can tell you, I'm already living in heaven right now. Heaven is within. I am living in the kingdom of heaven within, Loved by Above. I'm not waiting. And in fact, it says right here, let me tell you, let's see where we are here. John 5 says, many will be saved after death, but few in the body. Why are we waiting until after death? God knows that you can have heaven on earth right now. You could be there right now. You don't have to wait. You don't have to wait to drop your body. You don't have to stay in hell. You can do it right now. Everything I say is backed by scripture. Well, that's where you know what scripture is, right? Scripture is the testimony of man. God said, believe no man. Every single thing that you think that you're holding on to in scripture is just the testimony of man. That's what the Bible is. If you're going to cling to the Bible, then that's what you're going to have. You're going to have the Bible. I don't do that. I have God. I have God. Well, I mean, it's amazing how you know these things. I wish you all the best with the revelations that God's giving you, Love by Above. It's amazing. You must have truly, truly deep revelation to know what the mark is and when it's coming, and that you know you don't have it. Wouldn't that be something if you already had it and yet you're sitting here thinking it's something to come? Well, just lost in thought. It's another thought. Squirrel says Revelation 2014, second death. Yep, well, I'm talking about 211, the specific one, but I do understand what you're saying. They've already come in and said that, Squirrel. So thank you. Amazing. But we're talking about, though, what's the first death, though, Squirrel? What is the first death? Satan has not proclaimed himself all written. I don't know about that. Seems like he proclaimed himself. He's taken over the whole world. He has control of everything here. He's powerless, and yet he has all the power. In that deep, he has no real power, yet he has every single person tricked. They're all living in hell. Labola says it's not doom and gloom. Society has pushed people to the fringes for noticing stuff like this. Yeah. So you do not believe the Holy Bible? That's right. I'm not a believer in the Bible. I'm only a believer in God. That's it. I believe in God. I believe Jesus is the Son of God. And through the teachings of Jesus Christ, you can return to the Father. But I think God can reveal the Bible to you like any tool. God can reveal in the Bible. But no, I believe in God. OCY says, I am more powerful than you. Amazing, brother. Loved by above. Gotcha. Which God? There is no there's no bunch of gods. I don't know what you're talking about. There's only one God. People want to split that up. That's why I'm not into religion either. There's no, it's God. I don't know what you're talking about. Especially if you read scripture, you should know there's only one God. So religions try and steal the God for themselves, but the truth is there's only one God. No, I believe his word, but his word comes from within, doesn't come from outside of you. It comes from within. I'm not saying you can't get his word. When you read the Bible, if you give it to God and don't get into the intellect, he can reveal to you 100% loved by above. I agree with that. But if you only fall into the Bible, you'll have tons of knowledge. You're going to be so knowledgeable about the Bible, but you won't know God. That's not how it works. God sees your heart. You can read the Bible. Satan knows the Bible front to back, loved by above. Every single word in the Bible, Satan knows every single word. He can manipulate you through the Bible in a million ways. The Bible is just a tool. God can show you, God can reveal to you through it. That's right. The Holy Spirit teaches us all we are to know. That's right. And that is within us. Trust no man. And it's fine. I understand. I totally understand what you're saying because I've heard it from so many people so many times, and it's just fine. It's totally fine to, if you want to believe that and trust in that, that's fine. But I just always say, just search within for the answers. If God's revealed it to you, I can't argue with you. I wouldn't even want to begin. The Holy Bible is a living book. Well, I think that it may have had intentions to be that, but I mean, I don't understand. If you know the heart of man loved by above, how could you ever think for 1 second that the Bible hasn't been changed or manipulated or something done to it? If you know the heart of man and you know that Satan lives um, in the thoughts, and if you haven't overcome that, you still carry that evil, then of course they're going to manipulate that stuff through evil. And I'm not saying that the Bible is bad. You don't have to get evil through it. It's just that you can. If you don't understand what it is, if you're worshiping the Bible, you're not worshiping God. Same thing as if you're worshiping Jesus, you're not worshiping God. Jesus came and said the same thing. He said, "Do not worship me, but as the Father that works through me." Let's see. All right. Let's go back here. All right. Sorry, guys. Here we go. Labola says the silent prayer is so important. Most people don't know who they are. Just ask them. They can't tell you. That's so true, Labola. Love by Above says Holy Spirit teaches us all we are to know. I agree with that. Let's see. Love by Above, Holy Bible is a living book. Okay. And Love by Above says so many testimonies that God's word holds all truth. And I just say seek within, seek God's word within. Read the Bible. That's fine. Read the Bible, but don't just take it for fact. Just let God show you what the truth is, love by above. It's fine. He will show you. You worship the word. Yeah, that's okay. God loves you. Nothing to worry about. Labola says, if you think you can find peace in the world, you're making a mistake. Peace comes from the inside out, not in reverse. That's 100% true. Ish, what's going on? Shalom, Toots, Magoots. Nice, brother. Amazing. Let's see. Tiny says, evening. Good evening. Welcome. Love by Above says, not the book. It's our sword and compass. Hmm, interesting. Well, I can tell you here that if you're talking about the word of God made flesh, right? What is the word of God made flesh? I'll just ask you before I say, what is the word of God made flesh? We can get a great idea where you're at right now if you tell me what it means when it said the word of God made flesh. Christ. Interesting. Yes. Nice. Yeah. Well, it's in all men. I know that you guys think it's Christ because you guys think that Christ is God, but he's not God. The word of God made flesh is the heart of all men, including Christ, though. You're right in that way. Christ was a man just like us. We are brothers and sisters of Christ. But the word of God made flesh is the heart of man. Every single man is the word of God. He's inside there. He can teach you, he can guide you through the Holy Spirit, which you know. It's what you said. But that is the word of God. It doesn't come from the Bible, you guys. Ish says, worship God, not his word. We listen to his word, but worship God. That's right. It's fine to, that's exactly right. Read the Bible and listen to it, and then, but don't fall into it. Don't try and get into the intellect and decipher every single thing. God will reveal to you exactly what you need to know in it, you guys. It's amazing. But if you go to a church and you go to a pastor and a preacher and you listen to them interpret the Bible for you, then you'll end up all thinking the exact same thing. So I just say seek the answers within. Let's see. Tiny J says, I've had a bad habit that I'm trying to kick, and it's been slurping the hours of my day away. How can I kick it? Very interesting, Tiny. Um, First thing I would say is, you know, seeing what's going on inside of you. Do you see what's going on in your thoughts, in your mind? Are you catching the thoughts of whatever's keeping you in that moment first, and seeing what that is? And you have to start there. You have to start there so you can see what's going on, that Satan has control of your mind, and all of those thoughts, you have to let go of it because they're not you. You have to separate yourself from the thought. Then if you can do that, you can see that, you've been wrong for being angry. Go and forgive. God will forgive you. Go and forgive. And in that, he'll give you the ability to discern good and evil. And he'll show you his perfect love. And in return, you can also show perfect love to others. But if you want to focus on the exact moment, you have to stay present every second. Don't fall into imagination or thinking about the past or thinking about the future. Stay present. Whatever's going on, if it's, you know, I don't even know, whatever it is you're dealing with, whenever the time comes and you're having to overcome it and you're seeing it, even if you do it, whatever you do, go through it, but stay present. Watch it, watch everything that you're doing. If it's smoking a cigarette, look at the cigarette. Don't just sit there and blindly in the imagination smoke cigarettes away, right? If you want to quit something, stay present with it. Watch it, see it, so that way God can show you what's going on with it so you can overcome it. There's not much else to it than that, though, Tiny. You must overcome. You must seek within the strength of God. He'll give you the strength to overcome it, and then you can overcome. Let's see. Tuckamon says, does the Bible say anything about tickling my stink hole? I don't think so, but I haven't read every part of the Bible, so maybe somebody else in here could give you more information on that. So thank you, Tickle Monster. Love by Love says, okay, you need to be baptized, doing Acts 2:38. And as Christ showed us, be blessed and have a good night. Well, okay. You might need to be baptized, but I definitely don't need to be baptized. That's why Christ came. He ended that. That Old Testament life, you guys don't have to do that no more. You can do it. It's symbolism. If you want to do that kind of stuff, that's fine. But it's purely symbolic. It is not real. Another thought. But I appreciate you, Love by Above. Amazing. God bless you. Anima says, God is dog spelled backwards. Nice. That's the English language, brother. Amazing. Love by Above, to truly receive the Holy Spirit. Goodbye. Have a great night. The Tickle Monster says, does God smoke Zaza? I doubt it, but how would I know? Emma says, stay stoned, dudes. Amazing. Got some stoners in here tonight, you guys. We love you, brothers. Let's see. Ish says, God's word says, redeem your time because the days are wicked. And the Tickle Monster says, get tickled by the Tickle Monster. Nice. Well, you can tickle me, but I'm not going to like it. All right. You can't make me like it. I won't like it. It's okay, you guys. I understand what Love by Above is going through. It's very difficult to seek within, but you know what? Just this moment right here could give them that sight to where they just look inward. That's it. It's not like they have to believe it or they have to jump on board. I'm not expecting people to just come and be like, oh, there's going to be this big change coming. But even if they just look inward and reflect for a moment and say that, hey, maybe I don't know everything, that's good enough for me, man. That's what I do all the time. I'm constantly reflecting and saying, hey, Do I know anything at all? I don't even know anything, you guys. I don't know anything at all. The few things that God's revealed to me that I know is a very small amount. So always be looking for that truth. Always. It's just spend your time wisely, but make time for important things like eating, family responsibilities, etc. All is in God's world. Yep. You don't even need to make time for it. Just go through it. Everything that comes in front of you, just go through it. Whether it be family, eating, responsibilities. Don't even put a name on it. That way, whatever it is, you don't feel like you have to do something else. If you put that, like what's important to you is eating, family, and responsibilities, then if you're not doing one of those three things, you'll think that you're doing something wrong, but you're not. I can tell you this, if I never talked to family again, it would be just fine. That would not affect me in the slightest bit. I have overcome that need for family. In fact, my true family is only those of us that are overcoming, you guys. Those are my real brothers and sisters. Nothing about blood. It's not of flesh and blood, you guys. The battle is not flesh and blood, but of the spirit. It's a battle of good versus evil. Yep, that's right, Ish. But I mean, what you're saying is important. So if those things are in your life, do them the best that you can, just like you said. Focus on whatever is there, though, right? Whatever it may be, and stay present and know that, like for instance, when you're eating, this was a great thing that I was watching a little clip about this too, about why people overeat a lot. It's because they go into their imagination as soon as they start eating. They start thinking about their day. They start thinking about how work went, about the past, about the future, about imagination. Then they're just gobbling food and gobbling food and gobbling food. And next thing you know, they've ate way too much because they were never present with that food in that moment. Instead, they lived somewhere else in complete imagination that wasn't even real the whole time they were eating. Olivola says, our whole life until now has been protecting the ego. Yep, sure has. Every single thing I did was to protect the ego. I was led by my pride and my selfishness and my need for respect from other people. All those things. None of that stuff is real, man. I was led by my lust. I was controlled by women. I've definitely made women my god. That's one reason too, Labola, that when I first found Jesse and I first found Bond, that I truly understood because man, I made women my I put women as my god my whole life, man. I was like, dang, holy cow, I 100% have done that my whole life. See, it says I like in Buddhists believe they say when you're hungry, eat, and when you're tired, sleep. That's right, brother. They got it right there. That's what I'm saying. The truth like that, it don't matter what religion you are. That's not a belief of the Buddhist. That's just a belief of God, brother. It's very simple. Those are practical things. When you're hungry, you eat. When you're tired, you sleep. When you got to go to work, you set your alarm. When you look down, your shoe's untied, you tie your shoe, man. Gifts from God. Labola says, for anyone that doesn't know what the ego is, it's who your thoughts tell you you are. Nice. Lust. Yeah, Labola. In fact, I think I have, where do I have something about the ego? I got something here for that. I just don't know where I wrote it. All right. Oh, of course, ego is I. I have that. We know that. Ego is all about I. Thought I had something else here on the ego. I thought maybe I'm wrong. Guess I don't. Dang it. Okay. If I do have it, I don't know where it is. So we're moving on. Enough time wasted on that. Yep. Don't overstroke your ego. That's right. Me, 100%. The ego is I. What's his name? Michael used to say something, etch God out, I think is what he says ego is. I like that too. And I knew that after doing this with Revelation, and we'll talk about this because we're going to do another fellowship where we specifically go back and forth about Revelation being past and present. I didn't want to do that tonight. I'd like to spend a little more time sussing it out. But I would just, as soon as I read Revelation, I was like, oh man, they're talking about the first death and the last death. I'm just so curious how many people get it. And just like I thought, man, they go straight into that whole super literal biblical side of it, trying to say that it's something that it's not. As soon as I was reading it, and I especially when I got to the end, what they're talking about, um, and that sending them into the lake of fire and all of that, they just don't see that that's just talking about that drop in your body death of those who haven't overcome. He's specifically talking about the ones that haven't overcome, and then when they drop their body, that they are going to stay in that state that they're in that anger state. And I don't know, I saw it clearly, man. But I guess though, because um, I didn't have that other knowledge ahead of time, it's easier for me to see. I don't have to, you know, break down my beliefs in order to see the truth in that. And I think that a lot of people would have to go against what they've been taught from their preachers and pastors. And as you can see, some people just don't want to do that. And that's fine. That's why this isn't for everybody. It's only for some. Many will be called, but few will be chosen, you guys. Oh, Syllabola says Revelation is an acid trip. Get out of the Bible and come back to the present. Yeah. For sure. Man, it's wild. I didn't realize that it was like so insane. And how could people interpret all that stuff from it, talking about the seven heads and the seven countries and all of this stuff? I mean, I just do not understand how they get those interpretations out of that. It's more like, um, you know, it was an extreme description of how they saw evil, whether it be in a dream or however they saw it, a vision, a prophecy, but it's a vision of the of the events that happen. It's not a vision of the future. I don't even see that. I really don't understand how they get the vision of the future out of it at all. I couldn't get that from it, and I was trying to be open minded about it. I do see that there's a couple of things that they talk about in there that relates Jesus to God that I would be more that they would I would think use that more. That's in Revelation, talking about how when God returns on his horse and it says the King of Kings and um, whatever, on his thing. And I think most people are going to be like, oh, that's Jesus. That's Jesus. But there's definitely, they talk about the difference of Jesus and God there. So God reveals himself in that way. That's what they saw, but that wasn't, it's not literal though. I don't know. I don't know, you guys. Love you all with Agape love. Let's see. It says it's pretty tired. I'm pretty tired this evening. I'm going to take a break from the spiritual thing tonight and watch a stupid movie and get some laughs in. Shalom, everyone. I'll catch you on the flip side. Nice, brother. Love you all with Agape love. Nice. Amazing. You know you're always welcome here, man. No worries. I never expect how these nights are going to go, man. We're just getting started though, so who knows how it's going to take off. I guess maybe some people might not want to talk about this. Maybe a lot of people don't know and they're intimidated by it because they don't understand. So let's see. Harvest says, I had a miracle happen to me during a Catholic mass. Jesus is God. All right. Amazing, brother. Well, every person thinks they're in control of their life. The revelation is the realization that you have no control. Boy, oh boy, isn't it ever? Man, that's deep. Check out the word agape. Don't make me check it out. Just post it real quick. Just pop the definition up for me, brother. Make it easy on me, man. I'm constantly looking stuff up all day, every day. Give me this one for free, brother. Come on, man. I need you too. I need you guys too. As much as you need me, I need you guys too, man. To be honest with you, it is true though. You guys keep me honest. You guys keep me reflecting inward all the time to make sure that I'm doing the right thing. It is so deep to think about that I'm sitting here talking to you guys about this stuff. And if I wasn't constantly looking inward to make sure that I was, seeing the truth through God, man, I don't know. I feel like so many people don't do that. I feel like so many people just are gonna, they'll just Bible thump you all the way to religion town. We can't do that here. Let's see. Phil says, "Hi, Toots. Do you think some prophecies in Revelation have been fulfilled? If yes, which ones?" Yeah, I don't think any of it is prophecy, Phil. I think it's all what was already done. I think Revelation is the story of what happened before Jesus, what happened during the resurrection, what happened after Jesus rose during his 40 days. I think it's a story of what happened when Jesus ascended, and then how God changed the heart of man after that with what Jesus did. So I don't see any prophecy in it whatsoever. I only see the story of what has already occurred. So what do you think, Phil? Oh, nice. It says agape love referring to unconditional love, such as a parent's sacrifice or God's love. Nice, brother. Well, let's just write that down. Amazing. I love it. Yeah. Agape love equals God's love. Nice. Believe it's Greek. Amazing. Well, now I'll never forget it, brother. It went in the book. Lilabo says, "It's so easy to worship Daddy Satan. It comes from every angle. Man, isn't it ever?" And he's got you tricked. You think it's God. That's the bad part, is the trick is so good. He is such a good mimicker and trickster. You'll think it's you and God talking. And the whole time it was Satan talking to himself. Isn't that deep? The whole time. Pronounced agape? Agape? Is that really how it's pronounced? It's not pronounced agape? He will build you up just to break you down. Absolutely. I was just talking to my son about that, Labola. That's exactly what we talked about tonight. About the good stabs is what we were talking about specifically with him, because right now he's on this kick of wanting to go to concerts all the time. And he feels that when he goes to the concerts, he's at peace in there because he's not thinking about it. But then as soon as the concert's over, he's thinking about the next concert. And he's thinking about the concert that he was at. And he's thinking about, oh, I got to get tickets to the next concert. And he's never just enjoying what was there and then letting it be done and being at peace afterwards. He has to get back into that moment of feeling good again. And so that's what we were talking about tonight. Um, and what's actually going on and why he's searching for something, how that going to concerts will never fill that. And so once he overcomes and sees that, he'll be able to go to the concerts or not go to the concerts, and it won't mean anything to him. Lavola says the stabs. How many times do you get stabbed every day? I stopped counting, to be honest with you, because it's just pointless to count for me. I don't even know, man. I lose track. It happens so many times, I just lose track. Now, I've come to where it doesn't affect me at all. No matter what, I catch every thought. Very seldom does a thought get past me anymore. I'm not going to say I get every single one, because, even I fall away for a moment occasionally. Sometimes it takes me the second thought to get to it, but almost always now I catch the first one. So those stabs don't even hardly get me. But I tell you, the ones that do get me are the good ones. Those good ones trick me. I'm thinking, man, I'll be lost in that moment just for a second. And I'll be like, oh, stop getting emotional that way too. Don't feel good about it either, man. Has nothing to do with like for instance, whenever we come here and then, you guys have an amazing revelation and I see you guys working on yourselves, and then I get this good feeling within and I'm like, nope, that's Satan too. Stop getting that. God's doing this, you guys. It's not me. There's no reason for me to be getting a good feeling from this. I know that I'm doing the right thing and that's all that needs to happen. So let's see. Phil says John the Apostle wrote Revelation, and Revelation 1:1 speaks of the things which must soon take place. And 119 instructs John to write the things which will take place after this. So how to? It's yeah. Um, they're talking about things that take place after, but not the story. But they're talking about how God fixed the issue. That's the part that they're talking about, the things that come after. It is not the direct story, doesn't have anything to do with the things that come after. The direct story has to do with the story that happened. And then the things that are to come after were God was rejoining with the people, which happened after Jesus was resurrected and returned to the Father. And then God had control of the spirit, the soul on the planet, where he was able to take them. And it's done. It even says in there, it is done. It's written, it's done already. So the things that they're speaking of, Phil, it's just the same thing. It's just that people are going to interpret into whatever they want. Um, you know, even if I said things that were to soon take place, it could still be in thoughts. Those things that could take place were to be where something is revealed to me, not actually something physically happening in the world. So, you know, so anyway, and again, I mean, if that is the case, then seven-headed dragon monsters and giant white lightning gods on white horses and angels trumpeting. I mean, where do you see any of that? How did it already happen? The whole thing is the story of Christ's return. All of Revelation from the very beginning of it is the story of Christ's return and how it's telling the tale of how you're dead when you're born. When you're born onto earth, you're dead. And and through that, because you're living with Satan. Satan is your father as soon as you're born to this planet. And so you must die of the ego. That's the first death that it speaks of in there. That's the ego death that you must die of. And then the second death that it speaks of in there is the death of your body. And that's why it speaks of it. You won't feel any pain on the second death. As long as you've overcome the first death, which is the ego death, you've dropped the ego, you'll feel no pain on the second death. And in fact, the reason you don't feel pain is because it's not even death. It's only the death of the body. It is a return of everlasting life to sit on the throne with God. So, and that's what the whole story is. Revelation is that whole story of how it takes place. Now, I will admit it's in from an absolutely wild perspective of a crazy, like what Labola said, like an acid style trip. Like, and I can't say, I don't know, I wasn't there with John, so I don't know whether he was on something or whether that was just his dream or whether he actually had those visions. And I don't want to judge that. I don't know, but I can see what God's telling me through that. I know that for sure. And that story is of what has already happened, not of the future. So I do get it though. I understand, Phil, that we've been told that so many times from churches and priests and pastors. It's very difficult for you to look outside of that box at all. And that's why we do this. That's the only reason I'm talking about it, is so that maybe you'll just take that one moment and look inward and just allow maybe God to reveal you something that you didn't even know. We just got to kind of stop thinking we know everything, Phil. We don't know everything, man. And we certainly don't know something as deep as that. To pick that up from that text, I don't know, man. I just read Revelation today. I did not see anything prophesied from the future. Every single word I read was a story of what has already transpired. So maybe we just see things different, Phil. Who knows, brother? Either way, I love you no matter what. Labola says the good thoughts are worse than the bad thoughts. They sure are. Feel good thoughts will build you up for a crash, then you're set up for bad thoughts. And yep, the first death is the death of self, and we call it the ego. So true, brother. Amazing. Ace is good day toots on the bola. Phil, how y'all doing? Nice, brother. Ace, what up, buddy? We're just talking about this. I didn't realize that this would so many people would, because you guys are taking it to that, which we're going to have a fellowship talking about whether revelation is of the, of future prophets, or is a prophesized of the future, or whether it's already happened. So we'll have that, but that's not what this one's about. This one is specifically about, it talks in there of the second death, and I'm just curious what people think is the first death. So that's what this is about. I didn't realize that people were going to get so deep into that though so quick. We were going to save that for another time, which we still will. We'll have that discussion as well, you guys. We can't be afraid to talk about these things, that's for sure. Phil says, I agree. While many say it's of the future, in fact, some see these events as following the first century futurism, while others believe they describe events shortly after they were written. Futurism. Okay, nice. Amazing, brother. I don't know any of that because, again, Phil, it sounds to me like you're very knowledgeable of that and intellectual in that world, and I'm not, brother. I'm so simple and not into the intellect, and I really only, I wouldn't have even read Revelations, man, because I already knew what it was. But because someone discussed with me, and because I want to be completely honest with you guys and do my due diligence, I went ahead and read it. But it still revealed to me the same thing that I already knew. I got nothing else from it. So I do see though that it's wild. And if people get into the intellect, Phil, man, that thing can take you to crazy places. I mean, the things that they're talking about in there, phew, I can't even begin to imagine. Well, actually, I can. If you think about it, actually, it's not that hard to imagine. Think about what goes on in our minds, you guys. Think about how deep that is, Phil. You know what? And I love it when God reveals to me in real time. Think about what goes on in our heads, you guys. Close your eyes and just watch your thoughts for 10 minutes and see what's going, see the battles and the wars that's going on in your mind. And if you wrote that down and took note of it, I could say I could see a seven-headed dragon monster in my head pretty easily, you guys. Wow, that's deep. You know what? Thank you, Phil. You guys have no idea how you give me that moment of reflection as well. Absolutely amazing. Phil, Ace, and Labola, thank you guys, man. All of you. Truly, reflecting within is the way to understand the truth, man. Beautiful. Yeah, and Phil, I don't know how much of it was the future and the past when he wrote it, when John wrote that, what he was talking about there. But I can tell you that all of it has already transpired as of right now. Everything that I read in Revelation, anyway, I saw nothing that was to come. It's already done, man. It is done. Christ has returned. He is setting you free of that. So you can be with God right now. You don't have to wait. Heaven is within you guys. Let's see. It says not much. Just got an edit done, but thanks for asking. Nice, brother. You are very welcome. I understand too, but only keep in mind what you believe and just keep with your flow. All right, Ace. Yeah, no, I don't know what I don't. All right, we do that, Ace. You know that we do that. Definitely. I was just surprised. I wasn't expecting people to, get that deep into it. I wasn't expecting that, but that's why you can't have any expectation. Drop the expectation, man. I never know what's going to happen when I come in here with you guys and start talking about this stuff. I mean, God willing, He's going to change me in these moments, just like He might change you guys. So that's what I'm looking for. Every moment, just trying to look within and seek the answers within and let God reveal to me so that way I can see my true purpose in this life. Just like what Bola said, I was lost 42 years of not knowing who you are. Where the heck are we even, man? Holy cow. 40 years of my life gone, wasted in that moment, giving it all to Satan. Reverend, get off of her. Come on, leave her be. So, done with that, you guys. It's over. It is done. Just like it says in there. In fact, what is that? It's it is done, Revelations 16:17. And the seventh angel poured out his vial into the air, and there came a great voice out of the temple of heaven from the throne saying, it is done. Amazing, you guys. Let's see. People get an ego trip trying to piece together Revelation. They probably have dirty dishes in the sink. Jesus said, clean your house first. Nice, brother. That's very deep, Labola. Very deep, brother. Let's see. Phil says, I find it interesting that people saying Revelation 12 was fulfilled during September 23rd, 2017, which states about the maiden with the crown of 12 stars. It happened in the Virgo constellation. Yeah. Again, man, Phil, that's what I'm saying. People's interpretation, you cannot just take the word of any man. That's all I'm saying. Listen to what they say. It's fine. Take in what they say, but then give it to God, man. Let Him show you if that's true or not. Because if people, Satan wants you to believe. That's the thing, Phil. Satan wants you to believe all this stuff. Because if you believe in all of this stuff, you're not believing in God. If you're into believing in the Bible and you're into believing in scripture and you're into believing in all that and you're into believing in the intellect, you're not believing in God. And that's perfect for Satan. Satan loves it. If he can keep you in the Bible and not in God, man, it's perfect for him. He loves it. Let's see. Lobola, I'll take care of the laundry man. You take care of the fish. Nice. Phil says, I agree. Some of it might have already passed, but some also might yet to be fulfilled. Phil, and like I said, if you see that, if God's revealed something to you, that's between you and God. That's absolutely amazing. He just did not reveal that to me. And so I wouldn't want to tell you guys that to be true and me not know it to be true, Phil. That's all. If he reveals it to me, I'll tell you guys as soon as he does. And like I said, it's the first time I've read Revelation, so I got to sit with it. I can't say that God's going to reveal to me every moment in the real time. But what I had from before Revelation, before reading it, what I had just from the teachings that I knew, and then from reading Revelation myself, I had no change. I had no revelation in that moment that God gave me to show me anything different. So, and Phil, it's between you and God, right? What He has given you is between you and Him, and let no man take that truth from you, Phil. Amazing, brother. I love you guys. Lobo says, I'll clean the trout or catfish. Ace, I'll clean the fish. I always found catfish to be easier because I just cut around the head and then get that skin with pliers and just peel it off. And man, catfish skin just comes off so much easier than scaling. Let's see. Hyde says, blasphemy present. All right. Amazing. Thank you. I'm not sure what you mean, but it sounds like you may have some anger in you. So if you want to talk about it, this is the place to talk about it, brother. Whatever you got to say, let it go here. Nice. Laval says we're losing two teams, become 500. I assure you I'm not. I am not. I'm not. I just know that sometimes it's important to put in the work, you guys. There's nothing wrong with putting in the work. There's nothing wrong with reading the Bible. Just don't identify with it. Don't fall into it. Don't worship the Bible. Phil says, yeah, we shouldn't look for signs and miracles until the evidence becomes overwhelming. Blessed are those believe without seeing. That's right, Phil. 100%, man. Absolutely. That is true faith, right? That's what faith is, Phil. Believing without seeing, but God gave you the ability to know the truth within without seeing. You just have to give up thinking that you know anything. As soon as I stopped thinking that I knew any of this, God revealed me so many things. He showed me how dumb I was. He showed me how foolish I've been. He showed me I was crazy for thinking I knew anything at all. And even still, he doesn't want me thinking too much into any of it. He wants to keep me with this most simple of knowledge so that way I stay with him and stay present and I don't have to worry about the rest. Oh, look at this guy, Asa. I know always numbers. We can just keep going and not let them hold us down. Nice, brother. Commentary. Evening, folks. I have good news. I can prove that the U.S. is becoming safer for kids based on widely cited 2001 study by Abel and Harlow, often referenced in child protection literature. 93% of surveyed convicted sex offenders describe themselves as religious. Ooh. Connoisseur says statistically, Christianity experiences the highest net losses from religious switching globally, which with a significant number of people leaving the religion to become unaffiliated. Wow, connoisseur coming in hot, you guys. He's got news. He's got terrible news, you guys. Oh, wait, he's got great news, you guys. Nice, brother. Thank you, connoisseur. I love it when you come in hot, man. I know you're not into the Bible, connoisseur, but we'll just go ahead and ask you anyway. In Revelations 2:11, it speaks of the second death, that you will not hurt in the second death. And we're asking, what's the first death? And I'm just curious, since you're extremely intelligent, but you're not super religious. So what do you think? What is the first death and what is the second death, connoisseur? What do you think, brother? Are you subscribed to Ace Labola? Great news commentary. If you're not subscribed, subscribe to him. You'll have to search his channel and then get subscribed to him. And then he's uploading. I'm pretty sure he's probably uploading like I showed him. So it's not going to notify his subscribers that he's uploading. And so you'll just have to check his channel regularly. It'll pop up on your feed, your subscription feed. All right, give me a second. I'll be right back, guys. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so let's see. Ramon says, I don't know. Best guess, though, one refers to spirit and one to the body. Ramon, man, if that's a straight guess, dude, that's a pretty dang good guess. That is a dang good guess, brother. Nice, amazing. Yeah, he says it's a great response. Absolutely, I agree. Raymond, I think Raymond. Is it Raymond? Raymond Duran? But yeah, amazing, brother. Well, you need a link to Ace's channel? I'll take care of you. Ace, I'll take care of it, man. I'll send your link over. I'm just going to post it, Labola. I'm going to post a link in the channel. You guys, anybody wants to go check out Ace's channel, subscribe to him. I'm going to post the link right now. So you guys can click on it, go over, subscribe, watch his videos. There's a great video, this guy named Toots, that he great edit video, this guy named Toots on there, man. It's amazing. What a beautiful soul. All right, there you go. There's Ace's channel. You guys go ahead and check that out. Okay, now back to chat here. Let me get caught back up here before things get out of control. Hey man, I just want to tell you guys I really appreciate y'all coming in and talking about this stuff. It's absolutely amazing. Appreciate each and every one of you. I love you guys. Let's see. Yeah, I hope you got that link, Labola, so you can click on that. Connoisseur says the first death can be a multitude of things. It depends on the character, the personality of the person. It's usually the death of an ego or the death of selfishness and the birth of empathy, of compassion. Wow. Nice, brother. Amazing. Phil says to me, the second death is the death of the soul. The first death is the death of the flesh. So what Revelation 2 is saying in that you won't be victims of condemnation, second death, lake of fire. Okay. Very interesting, Phil. Very interesting. Nice, brother. Labola says, wrong, connoisseur. I love you guys, man. Oh man, too much. Connoisseur says that'd be a first. Yeah. He ain't never been wrong. What are you talking about, Labola? He ain't never been wrong once. Right. Labola says, sorry, connoisseur. You're right. You're right. You're right. My bad. Phil says, I've seen many commentaries say that the second death is a reference to the lake of fire. Yeah. And in that way, in the reference to lake of fire, again, Phil, from what from what I read from it today, it's metaphorically speaking in the way of, your soul won't be with God. So basically, what it's saying is that first death, that is the same death that Jesus experienced the first time. Carry your cross, walk with me, carrying your cross, right? That is the ego death. That is the death that you will have to experience in order to overcome and to even return to the Father. Be born, dying of the ego is how you become born again in the Spirit of the Father. And then, so after that, you'll be with the Father from then on. So then when the second death comes, which isn't even death, like Labola said, the second death isn't even death. The second death is only dropping your body. That's all it is. And it's when you drop your body, as long as you've overcome the spirit of anger, the spirit of evil, then when you drop your body in that second death, you'll feel nothing from it. It won't hurt. It won't matter. There'll be no effect from it. Uh, because you have overcome. You've overcome that moment, and you are pure, and you're with God from that moment on. So you won't. There'll be no. So the second death isn't really a death. It is only a death of the earthly things, of the flesh, and of your earthly world, and then you'll be with the Father forever after that. Absolutely amazing. Okay, let's see. Robert says, prayer hands, amazing, brother. Thank you. Hello and welcome, Robert. Commentary says, Toots got it. Oh, it says, is there bass in the lake of fire? Ooh, what kind of bass are they? Are they already cooked? Is the lake of fire um like a deep fryer, just cooking fish? All right, we're being silly now. Get serious, Labola. Knock it off. God said to put away your childish ways, Labola. Knock it off. Let's see. Phil says exact 100% separation from God is the second death. Uh, okay, then Ace talking commentary. Amazing, man. Thank you, Phil. Absolutely amazing. Isn't it so good to have this conversation like this, you guys? Just this simple fellowship of discussing these kind of things. No judgment, no hate, no pastor or minister trying to tell you what's right or how to think, agreeing to disagree on some stuff. I mean, I don't see anything more beautiful than this moment. Just a handful of us talking about God, looking inward to make sure that we're actually giving up to him, to know that we're not into the intellect and it's not us that know anything, but God that reveals to us. Labola says, no, let's bring back the poo raft. Labola wants a poo raft ride. That whole poo raft thing was pretty intense, dude. Especially when it came to diverting the splash from the backside. That was a big deal, Labola. I was really into that as well. Ace says, oh, Toots, why can't we be a little childish? No, Ace, you're right, man. I be be childish. Just don't live in the imagination, Ace. That's all. I was just kidding, brother. And I know you know I was kidding. But that's what somebody told me. There was this guy that came in here one time named Tim, and I told him that, it's all about God. We love God. Put first God first and foremost above everything else. Love him with all heart and soul and might. Put nothing else above him. But we do have fun. We laugh, and sometimes we're still. When trolls come in, I don't kick them out. I talk to people, like normal human beings, and sometimes we laugh, and sometimes we have a good time. And Tim said, "Well, God told me to put away my childish things. I don't have time for that." And I told him, I said, "I completely understand. No worries." And he's never been back since. But what God meant was not to not have fun, you guys, not to smile, not have a good time. He doesn't want you in the imagination. That's all that he was talking about. Your childish ways, or as soon as you had that spirit of evil given to you, went in the imagination and you lived there ever since. And until you return to God, be born again in the spirit of the Father, you stay in the imagination. You must overcome that. But that's what he was talking about with putting away your childish ways, not having fun in life, you guys. Still have fun. Don't listen to Tim. Tim, we love you, but don't listen to Tim, you guys. Connoisseur says, but from my perspective, you only die one time. I'm not going to pretend I know what you mean. You get to live here for a short time and then make room for another life, and one death. And in that way, connoisseur, you're right. If you're talking about of the flesh, there's only one life and one death of the flesh. The first death that we're talking about is of the spirit. So you are right about that. And in that way, I can see if you're not, if you don't see that in that same way, then yeah, you wouldn't understand that first death part of it. So I totally get what you're saying, connoisseur. And amazing. That's why I asked you. Michael says, how would you know? Have you died before? Nice. I haven't died, but I'm looking forward to it. Michael, welcome, brother. Where have you been? My goodness, we've been talking about you for days now, Michael. We've been saying, where's Michael? We need Michael. Michael's got to come in here and give us some of this amazing biblical knowledge. Bill says, I don't see many trolls here. I wish there were more. Nice, brother. Yeah, I wish there were more too. That way I could overcome every single one of them. Phil says, I thought you would stop at the explanation, but you proceeded to explain about ego death. Sorry, I posted the comment on the second death before you finished your explanation. Oh, okay. Well, and either way, I don't know if that changed your answer into what you were saying there, but that's okay though, brother. No worries. See, Michael says, if you're born only once, you will die twice. Once naturally, and the second time eternally. If you're born twice, you will only die once naturally. Very interesting, Michael. Nice, brother. You know what I'm talking about, right? Revelations, of course you do, Michael. This is even ridiculous, but I'm going to do it anyway, Michael. Revelations 2, verse 11. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit say unto the churches. He that overcometh shall not be hurt of the second death. And so when we talk about that second death, then the question for tonight was, of course, what is the first death then? If it's a second death that you're not going to be hurt by, what is the first death? And will you be hurt by the first death? Ooh, that's deep too. Will you be hurt from the first death? Because it only speaks of not being hurt by the second one. Ooh, this is deep, you guys. Woo, we're getting deep. Okay. Mike, I'm glad you're back. Nice. Connoisseur, how would you know? This is the question. Notice that I don't make things up. I'm a fact addict and assume makes an ass out of you and me. Nice, brother. Amazing, connoisseur. Michael's good to see. Good to see everyone, even connoisseur. That's like that's like a backhanded compliment, Michael. You can't say even you connoisseur and then him not take offense to that. Although he shouldn't because it's not in him, but holy cow, you guys are firing off already. God bless and Godspeed. Nice. Thank you, brother. Thank you, Michael. No, you're good, man. I don't expect you to be here. We just love it when you are here, Michael. When you're not here, it's totally fine. We just love it when you are here. God bless you, brother. Source says, makes sense. Michael, go live with Toots. That would be amazing. I did it. It's your time. Yeah, Michael, you want to go live with me right now? You want to join the Discord and then I'll give you the go live code and you can come on with me? I let you take Michael, you can just have the rest of the evening, man. I'll sit back and we'll listen to you, brother. That would be absolutely amazing. Please say yes. What do we say, Michael? We say yes. Hand fed the ammo right into connoisseur's hands. Yeah, sure did. You gave him the ammunition. Or did I give him the ammunition? Yeah, I gave him the ammunition. Yeah, I shouldn't have said anything, huh? I put that thought in his head. Sorry, Michael. You're right. You're right. Toots, Be silent, man. Michael is so right. Sometimes I need to just shut up. That's not even the word of Michael. That's the word of God. God wants me to just be quiet sometimes. So, Michael, come in here. I have a really cheap government phone that's extremely limited and glitches out. I am unable to go live. Appreciate the. Oh, Michael. Michael. You don't have access to a computer at all? You guys, I feel like you don't have to show your face. You don't even have to do that. You can put up just leave your symbol background if you want. We won't even judge. And you can use a voice modifier if you want. Nice. Michael says the reason why I said hello to everyone, even connoisseur, was because I know he wouldn't believe that I was happy to see him as well unless I said my name. Nice, Michael. Anything that I had in that situation was an assumption of me in my mind. So yeah, Michael, definitely don't listen to me, man. I think it's hilarious, but don't listen to me. Connoisseur says he doesn't have access to a computer, but he mods for a bunch of other live streams. Curious. Connoisseur, I'm sorry. You know what? I did give him the ammunition, Michael. I'm sorry about that. Sorry about that, you guys. But he does make a valid point, Connoisseur. As much as I don't want to go into this, dude, you have made such a valid point. Now we have no choice but to go into it. Michael, how do you retort? How do you plead, Michael? The charges that Connoisseur has brought forth in this case against you? How do you plead? I mean, the guy types paragraphs of biblical text and then he says he has a flip phone? Michael, Michael. I'll just say this, Michael. Whatever the case is, all right, know that there's no judgment and you can be honest with us about anything. So if you're a superhero and you don't want to give up your identity, you can just say that, man. It's okay. We will not tell anybody that you are Spider-Man. We want Michael. We want Michael. We want Michael. It would be amazing, brother. I really do want you to come on, Michael, though. All BS aside. Instead of thinking maybe there's a good reason. Oh, you know what? And you see how he puts the thoughts in all our heads too. You see how evil transfers from person to person. However, that being said, Michael, I really think you should overcome this moment. All BS aside, whatever is in front of you, whatever obstacles you're facing, Michael, you could overcome them and come on the show right now with us. You could come on and come on fellowship right now. You could overcome. You can use all these things as an excuse and you can, and connoisseur can you can think of it like that, but connoisseur is right, man. You could overcome this. Cheap phone, no computer. There's still a way that you could make this happen, Michael, if you wanted to, brother. You don't have to, though. I totally understand if you don't want to. But the truth is, Michael, and I know for sure because I know you, brother, you could overcome this and you could be here with us. Don't be mean. Exposure isn't to be insulting. It's the first step to recovery. That's right. That's right. That gives you the opportunity to just admit you're wrong sometimes, you guys. You're right, connoisseur. I love it when people point that out because if I am wrong, I can admit I'm wrong. And if not, then I can just ignore it and it doesn't affect me in any way, shape, or form. But at least it gives me a chance to reflect inward, connoisseur, just like what we're talking about tonight. That's so deep, you guys. Yeah, connoisseur. That's the other thing, too, though, man. Maybe you should step up and show Michael that it's okay, man. Maybe it's your night. Maybe, God's telling you that you need to come out here and talk to us a little bit. And then Michael can come out of his shell. Especially if you start think about that, connoisseur. If you start going nuts on here and start spouting some wild stuff, you know Michael's going to have to come in and rebuttal. He's going to have to come and rebuke it. It would be the key to unlocking it all, connoisseur. You could unlock getting Michael on here by you coming on and taking those steps, brother. Think about how deep that would be. Let's see, the Legends of Hope. What's happening? Welcome, my friend. Welcome to Fellowship. We are talking about Revelations 2:11, in which it is speaking of the second death and how you won't be hurt by the second death. And we're asking, what is the first death? But for that matter, what's the first death and what is the second death? If anybody just came in and is interested in talking about it. Will says, yeah, connoisseur, show Michael how it's done. Put yourself out there. We love you too. That's right, man. Amazing. That's impossible. I'm an independent thinker, not interested in going live. Peer pressure has no effect on me. It's not peer pressure, man. It's lead by example, connoisseur. Think about the example you would set for others by doing it. It's not you that I'm worried about. But man, think of all the young hearts and the young minds that would see you on here overcoming in real time, talking and then doing it just so maybe Michael would see and then he would overcome and come on here. Man, connoisseur, you could set something in motion that could change the world forever. You could truly change the fate of all of existence in this one moment, you guys. Isn't that deep? Isn't that deep, you guys? You could literally change all of existence right now in this moment. Who knows what could come from it? Resort to comment above. He's just going to repeat the same thing, is what he's saying. Gotcha. Football says, we aren't peers, man. In terms of age, you're decades older than I am. Refer, right. Refer to the comment above. Yeah, I got what you're saying, connoisseur. I'm with you, brother. He doesn't want to repeat himself, you guys. No is no. You guys, me too. Okay, get off his back. No means no, fellas. When are you gonna learn? You can't force yourself on connoisseur. Who do you guys think you are, man? I will say that when I read Revelations 2:11, in that moment that I read that, he that overcometh shall not be hurt of the second death. Holy crap, man. What God revealed to me in that moment, woof, I already knew it to be true, but it's like he just solidifies these things with this type of stuff, man. And I will admit that that's straight from, a Bible verse. So God can reveal in the Bible like that. There's no denying that. But it's not the Bible that did it. It was God that did it. I give it to God. But he that overcometh shall not be hurt of the second death. Man, I thought that was so deep. I had such revelation from it. I knew as soon as I read that, I said, that's what we're talking about tonight. And asking what the first death is just kind of a way to get it out on the table for you guys to start talking about it. See, connoisseur says, preach. Let's go, connoisseur. Jump off in there and let's go live with Toots. Yeah. Labola did it, man. And you guys got to know Labola came out of his comfort zone to do that. He overcame, you know, all the thoughts. I can't even imagine what he was thinking, but I know what I would have been thinking. So it would have been like the fear, embarrassment, um, you know, anxiety, all those moments I would have come over in that moment of doing that, especially if I hadn't never really, been live before or come on a live, whatever YouTube channel like that, whatever the case may be, whether it's fellowship or something different. Man, the things that Labola overcame in that moment, I'm sure it's not even, like it's awesome for him, right? I see how great it is for him, but I can't even imagine how great it felt for him facing the devil like that and overcoming the devil. Whew, there's nothing better than that, you guys. There's absolutely nothing better that I do throughout the day than face those moments and overcome them. That is the moments that you are overcoming the devil. And he hates it. The devil absolutely hates it when you do this stuff, you guys. When you overcome, the devil hates it. Anytime we're in here in fellowship, you guys know how much the devil hates us. That's why so many people come in here and do what they do or troll or just argue, or Satan hates us in here talking about he'll do anything to, if he can run one person out of here by sending someone in here spamming or sending someone in here calling us blasphemers or wolves in sheep's clothing or snakes, all those things we've been called. But I think I was called every one of those yesterday. Um, if Satan can push one person out of this chat by having someone come in and do it, it's made Satan's day. It was the one thing that Satan was wanting to do, was to push one person that may have overcome in this moment out of this chat. You guys remember that? That is so deep. Satan does not want us talking about this stuff at all. Let's see. He says, "Hey Toots, what's the Bible verse? I'll read it." Yep, Toots, I still remember you saying you never thought about doing this on YouTube, and look at you now. Yeah, no, for sure, brother. The Bible verse that we're talking about tonight, Revelations chapter 2, verse 11. Is that what you're talking about, brother? That's the one I was talking about earlier that I got all this revelation from. Was in that moment, I knew right then that that's what we'd be talking about tonight. Yeah, Revelations chapter 2, verse 11. And I mean, it's the theme of our whole channel here, you guys. Overcoming. How deep is that? I mean, that's just absolutely amazing. It's everything that we talk about is overcoming. And then know that once you overcome, you have nothing to fear of dropping your body, you guys. You have everlasting life. Just like Labola said, it's so true. The second death isn't real, it's fake. It's of the body, it's of the flesh, it's not you. That second death is not you. You don't die twice, you only die once. You truly only die once. You die of the ego, and after that, you have everlasting life. The second death is of the flesh, it is not of God at all. You will drop your body and you'll feel nothing about it. You will feel zero because you have already overcome. Man, it's so good. And it was, and like I said, Ish led me there. If I hadn't been in here talking to Ish, and then Ish asked me about whether I thought Revelation was a prophecy of the future or something that's already happened, and then I told him that it was something that's already happened, and then he, said very interesting, and I thought that I told him, I said, yeah, we should probably have a talk about it. And he agreed that we should have a fellowship about it, and then boom, next thing you know, here I am reading the book of Revelations. You know what I'm saying? We just don't know what God has set forth for us. But again, even through reading the whole book of Revelations, it did not change the truth for me one bit. God revealed nothing to me in that moment that I didn't already know. So he may still. I always keep an open mind. I don't think that I know anything for sure, for certain when it comes to God. He can always give me the truth. But as of right now, nothing new was learned. Oh, Labola says, Connoisseur and Michael both got quiet. Yeah. Connoisseur says it would be pointless for me to have a realistic conversation about this subject. I like facts and proof, and I always have to defend logic against imagination. It's literally redundant. Well, in that case, Connoisseur, it would be about what you think. I mean, it's about fellowship for you too, man. So it would be more about how you feel about all different kinds of life stuff. It doesn't have to be an argument, man. It can be you just talking for that matter. I can sit back and listen, brother. This doesn't have to be, it certainly isn't about me. First of all, you guys, just so you know, this is not about me. It is about God, but God wants us to see those moments with you too, connoisseur, just for us to sit back and be silent and to listen to someone else and someone else's, what's going on inside of them can reveal things to us. So, so connoisseurs, I'm not constantly commenting because I'm doing side missions. Oh yeah, he's out there messing with Jeb. Did you see Ace put up the thing about you, connoisseur, and I told him to do it for Jeb? Did you see that, connoisseur? You gotta go check out Ace's channel and see that, man. That was funny as heck. Ace was like, I don't know if I want to keep doing this. And I told him, I said, do it for Jeb, Ace. It was awesome. Lebola says, do it, connoisseur. Let us be the judge if your conversation is pointless. Oh, Lebola's gonna judge. Lebola. You have to, connoisseur, he says. You have to overcome it, connoisseur. I have said no so many times. Your responses makes me want to cover my drink at the bar. We would definitely roofie this guy to get him to come on the channel and come into fellowship with us. The Bull says, don't weak and make excuses, connoisseur. We love you here. That's true, man. We love you. Connoisseur says, I left a poor, broken family at the age of 14. I've listened to myself since. I am 43 now. Is it possible for me to follow others' direction? Nice. Well, give some of the others some of your guidance, connoisseur. People need to hear that, man. If you were able to leave home at 14, overcome every hardship, um, now have a family and a good life, and see that love is the most important thing, why would you not want to come on here and talk about it, connoisseur? Tell us your story, brother. We want to hear that, my guy. That's amazing, dude. That is amazing. It is truly from God. Just because you don't see that that's the way it is, that's fine, man. But who knows what somebody else will see from it, connoisseur? Just in that, what you said right there could change lives, brother. Yeah, you got to check it out about Jeb. Little Jeb. I love it. Let's see. He says, yeah, too, it says that overcometh shall not be hurt of the second death. That's right. That is right. And so that's why we were asking Ace what the first death was. Well, it says connoisseur may be a woman. He sounds like a woman. Oh, uh-oh. Coming in hot, Labola. Connoisseur says, I'm not a woman, but I'm definitely a lesbian. Nice. He's not a woman. He just has the spirit of the woman inside of him. It's okay, connoisseur. He get it from his mama. He says, yeah, Toots, I heard you for Jeb, man. Yeah, yeah, for Jeb, man. It was awesome, huh? I had a good laugh about it. I had to go back and change it because then I realized I didn't put the squirrel emoji in there. I had to go back and add the squirrel emoji back in. He's so cute. Little Jeb is so cute. I love him. You guys, I love Jeb. Yeah, so Ace, I know that I don't know if you were listening to when I was talking about it, Ace, but if you haven't heard, what do you think the first death is, brother? Or tell us what you think about the first and the second death, Ace. Or maybe you already have said and I'm forgetting. If so, that's fine too. Connoisseur says, I'm not interested in changing the world. I'm simply observing. Nice. Bullet says, maybe not tonight, but we will get Connoisseur live one day. I can feel it. Yeah. Yeah, we're weakening him. We're beating him down. It's like a old wooden door, you know. You gotta bash it a whole lot before you break through it. Hence the long ass driveway. Amazing. I know, connoisseur, that you're not interested, but sometimes we have to put away our selfish ways, brother, and do stuff for the betterment of mankind. It's not always about us, brother. Sometimes we got to put ourselves out there so that way others can achieve, man. Don't you want to see others achieve, connoisseur? Don't you want to see Ace achieve? Ace might fail because you're not going to come on and show him the right way, brother. Ace, tell him your struggles, Ace. Ace, yeah, please give me one smoke on that. Ace, you don't even have to answer tonight if you don't want to, brother. There's no rush. You can tell me anytime that you feel that you have the information. Don't feel pressured about having to give the answer right now. Don't rush in fact, Ace, sit on it for longer than what you need to. If you even think you have the answer, give it another 5 minutes, dude, and make sure. Yeah, commentary. Ace is failing, man. He needs you. The most feminine thing about him is his beard. I've seen some women with some pretty thick beards. Actually, I've seen a woman with more hair on her face than what I got, man. Uh, my buddy is dead that I used to hang out with, but he has some aunts, and man, they definitely have a very strong gene in them. But one of them was named, I think her name was Lena, and she's big gal, big broad shoulders, big head, but shaves every day. I mean, we went over there one afternoon, and she had full 5 o'clock shadow, full shadow, big long, whiskers coming out of the beard, mustache, full works. She had definitely more facial hair than I did at the time. Definitely. It was very emasculating. He says, all right, Toots, I'm smoking on it. I give an answer and I'll give an awesome, I believe. Nice, brother. Take your time, Ace. No rush. Labola, come on, live connoisseur. Let's see that beard. It's better than mine. I don't know about that, Labola. I'll tell you who does have an amazing beard, though, is Riggs. Rig Binkledine on here. Of course, he's my son, so I might be a bit partial. But man, he has a absolute amazing beard. So full, he's like a Viking. I don't know where he gets it from. It's certainly from his father. Look at this. This is pathetic. I'm like a what? I'm like a 15-year-old. I have the facial hair of a 15-year-old, you guys. It's not good. But I do appreciate though that I look young and that it keeps me young at heart. Most people don't, figure me to be 45, so it's not a bad thing always. In fact, I got carded the other day. Did I tell you guys that? Holy cow, I haven't been carded in forever. Wild. So counselor says, if I gave you unbridled access to my opinion and perspectives, you would leave your religion. I don't want to be responsible for that. I don't know. I say give it a chance, connoisseur. Imagine if I left my religion for what you would say here, connoisseur, then I don't even deserve to have it, man. I don't deserve to have it. We'll try it, connoisseur. Let's test your hypothesis. I know, right? I want to test this hypothesis. I want to see if he can take my faith. Take my faith, connoisseur. He says, oh yeah, the edit with everyone takes time, and I'm really happy y'all enjoyed it. It makes my work a motivation. Heck yeah. Thank you, brother. Thank you, Ace. I do not mind looking young. It is a compliment. I love it. When I was young, I had a problem with it. I didn't like looking young when I was young because it was very difficult. Excuse me. It was very difficult being 16, 17 years old and looking like you're 13. We definitely love Ace Lavola for sure. That's absolutely amazing. But as young as I was, even at like 15, I was still going in the gas stations. They were selling me cigarettes back then. It was a different world back then. I used to go to this one gas station, this Texaco, because this lady in there, I don't know whether she just thought I looked like somebody else, but she never carded me from the beginning. And because I bought cigarettes in there so many times, she just started just assuming I was 18. And she would tell people someone else, another worker would be in there, and she'd be like, yeah, he comes in here all the time. I know he looks young, but he's 18. And she'd sell me cigarettes. So then the next employee that was in there with her, I would come in and they'd be there, and she'd be like, "Oh yeah, Day, I saw you," and I'm like, "Yep, yep, that's me." And she'd be like, "Yeah, what do you need? Pack of Marlboros? Here you go." Never would card me. An old man would be working there. He was working there with her, and I came in. She sold me cigarettes in front of him. The next thing you know, I come in there with him. He's selling me cigarettes. It's like they didn't care. I looked like a 12-year-old in there, man. They just selling cigarettes. And then what was funny is I'd go in there with somebody else and they would card them. I always got such a laugh out of it. I'd be like, "What the heck? I look like a little kid and they're not carding me. What is going on?" I guess maybe it was that confidence thing where I never balked about it at all. When I went in there and asked for cigarettes, and just they were like, "Damn, he's done this before. I'm just gonna sell him some cigarettes." By the time I could buy cigarettes legally, I was almost quit of them. Quit shortly after I turned 18, so I didn't even smoke cigarettes that long after I was able to buy them legally. Wait, what happened? He says, "Well, I get the cops called on me. It just happened 2 days ago." What? For what? Ace, what are you talking about, brother? ID now, punk. Is that what the cop said to you? Customer says, please pray for the porcupine that lost his life this morning. He was chewing on my brake lines again. I had to. No need to pray for him, man. It's already done. It is done, just like it says in Revelation 16:17, I believe it is. It is done, connoisseur. It's too late to pray for him. He is gone, my friend. He is with the Father now. He and the porcupine are one. But that doesn't mean the porcupine's God, you guys, in case I confuse anyone with that. I don't want you guys to think the porcupine. I think the porcupine is God because I said that the porcupine and God are one now. I know how easily people can be confused by that. I think that's so amazing that when people say that Jesus said that God and I are one, and I tell them the exact same thing. Yeah, God and I are one too, you guys. That doesn't make me God though. But he, the Father, and I are one for sure, 100%. The Father and I are one. He is within me. His spirit is my spirit. He says, "You look young, Toots, unlike me. I get the cops call because I look so ugly that they think I'm either a crackhead or a murderer." Eh, I seriously doubt that, Ace, but you know what? I won't even judge that. Whatever you say, brother. I just take you at your word. Well, it says, connoisseur, go love and tell us about the porcupine. Go live and tell us about the porcupine. Yes, 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 yes. Yeah, but he wants to hear it. Like he wants to hear your words. He needs to hear your cadence, the tone, the tremble in your voice. It'll be so much more meaningful, connoisseur. You know, We want to hear your voice. I can imagine your voice is very, very sultry and seductive. You'd probably have the voice of an angel. It's angelic, I'm guessing. You would probably come in here and sweep us all away with your voice. Oh, geez, man. I'm tired. I'm not usually yawning like this with you guys this much. I must be tired tonight. I got a case of the yawns. Speaking of yawn, when I was younger out in California, I had a buddy who lived across the street from me, and his name was Yon, Yon. It was actually pronounced Eon, Eon, but yeah, I just called him Yon. And he's Russian. They're Russians. Lived across the street from me. He says, I'm not joking. I got the cops calling me because I was too suspicious to, and even the majority of people say you look like a psychopath or crazy. Thank God suspicion isn't a crime. What did they charge you with? What crime did they charge suspicion with? That's what most cops, Ace, they'll understand that. Once you talk to them, they'll see that people are just dumb in their heads. Cops aren't there to go after suspicious people. They're there to go after people that commit crimes. And suspicion isn't a crime. Looking like a crackhead isn't a crime. Looking like a psychopath isn't a crime. Looking crazy isn't a crime. None of that's a crime, man. Yep, come on, connoisseur, sweep us away with your voice. Boy, LaBola, he's really pushing for it, connoisseur. You might as well just go ahead and just give in and do it, man. Just get it over with. Just come in here, talk to us for 10 minutes, and boop, bop, bing, it's done and over with. You never have to come back again. And just like in Revelation 16:17, we will say, it is done. We will say, Labola, it is done. Oh, I'm sorry, I mean connoisseur, it is done. He says nothing, thankfully. Yeah, no, there's nothing to charge you with, man. Suspicion isn't a crime. In fact, I would welcome it. I want people to do that. That way the police can show up and I can ask them what crime is suspicion. It's crazy. Will says, I had a friend named Yuan, Michael, as a kid, pronounced Yawn, Michael. Wow, interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, this guy was Russian. I think it was like he had some really wild Russian last name, like Bukovovich or something like that. I don't know exactly what it was, but something wild. Tom Cruise says, I look like the bad guy from the movies. Ace, a preacher told me once, literally, you're an angel in disguise. I'm like, in my head, where's the disguise? Nice. Hey, land Bible's in the house. Yeah, if looking like a crackhead was a crime, I'd have a lot of issues getting through life. The amount of times I've been told I look like a crackhead and uppers put me down, so I never took them. Nice. Yep. Hey, Lan, glad you're here. Me too, man. Me too. I gotta take these headphones out. Hopefully my sound, if it doesn't.
Things are hurting my ears. Connoisseur says, I don't look like a crackhead. I look like the guy that connected you with the guy that had the uranium. That sounds dangerous. Is that like what would that be? Like a nuclear physicist? Are you a nuclear physicist, connoisseur? He's over here talking nuclear physicism. Oh gosh, you guys. What is wrong with me? What's up, everybody? Hope y'all doing good tonight. Thanks, Lamb Bible. Amazing. Well, I know that everything is amazing here. All is well. Candy Lady says it's just a dog, man. It's just a dog. The Bull says the audio is better without the headphones. Really? Okay. Well, maybe we'll stop doing the headphones then. I didn't realize that, man. I thought it'd be better with them. Yeah, Land. Anything you want to talk about? You want to come on? You want to come on the live tonight and talk for a little bit, Land? You feel up to coming on the live? Hmm? We can talk about it. Let's go. Connoisseur wants you to do it. Connoisseur wants you to come on here and talk to us so that way it takes the heat off of him. Let's go, Land. What do you say, man? Join the Discord. I'll send you the link. Come on, brother. Let's go. Let's see. Nada going on with me. Played some Skyrim and just hung out. Nice. A lot of walking on Skyrim from what I've heard. I've never played it, but I hear there's a lot of walking on it. It's like a walking simulator. Land, the people have spoken. What do you think, brother? You want to come on and talk for a bit? No pressure. No pressure on how long. Whatever you think. We can talk about the question, the fellowship question for tonight. Play some music for Land. Nice. I would, but they will demonetize me if I do that. But we can think about some music. I could probably sing some music. They can't get me for that, I don't think. We could sing him something. The bull says, we love Land and connoisseur around here. Yep, I can repost it for sure. Land is going to come on, you guys. Let's repost it. I don't know what's going on. Okay. Okay, here's the deal, you guys. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if there is an issue with Discord or what, but the link isn't posting. It's just posting the link to Discord. The link isn't there anymore. And when I go to even my channel, my main channel, the link is expired. And it won't give me a new link to post. It just keeps, like, you see what the link is here, right? When I posted it, it's just the Discord. It only takes us to Discord. So the only thing that I can say is you'll have to try and search for the habitual overcomers in there, and then I'll have to talk to Keith tomorrow to try and figure out what's going on with the link to Discord. I don't know, man. I am not an expert on Discord. That's all I know. If someone else knows it's in the Discord, I mean, if they could help out, otherwise, yeah, it's the habitual overcomers for sure. And you'll see it once you get in there. It's, you know, it's all labeled up and everything. But even like I went to the channel, so I go to the Discord and I click invite to server, and it just comes up with that Discord/GG or whatever. It doesn't even put the server link in there. And then when I go to my channel now and I click that Discord link, it just says server invite is no good. So for some reason, the invites are expiring and we need them to not expire. And I just don't know how to do it, you guys. I'm sorry. Did you try turning it on and off again? You know what's so funny about that? I had a serious issue going on with what was it? Was it my PC? Some electronic device. I think it was something on my PC with OBS when I was working on it when I was first starting out and trying to get everything figured out. And I couldn't figure, man, I could not. And then I finally just turned the computer on and off again and it worked perfectly. It came right in and started working immediately. Yeah, it's the devil. That's right, connoisseur. Definitely is. The devil does not want us to do this. He doesn't want land on here. We have to overcome him, land, so we got to figure it out, whatever it takes, man. I'll do whatever it takes, you guys. You tell me what to do. I just don't know enough about Discord, but if you tell me what to do, I'll do it. Let's see. Okay, let's try this now. Oh, I don't understand it either. I can't chat in my own chat. It's ridiculous, man. I don't understand. I can't even post it in here. It was building a roadblock for the connection. Yep, that's right. Oh, Discord is an invite only kind of deal. It is? Oh, okay. Well, let's figure it out then. We'll overcome this, guys. I'm bringing you with me, man. We're going to figure this out. Let me try and reset Discord. You're right. So let's turn Discord on and off again. First things first. Just shut down Discord. Let's reopen it. Let's see if what that does. See if we can get a new link. Ah, it worked. Labola was right. Turning it on and off again worked. Here we go. Labola, you are the smartest SOB. Man, thank you, brother. We got it. All right, link coming in hot. Here we go. You ready? Paste. Boom. All right, see what happens now. We got a link, you guys. We got a link. All right. Now we're waiting for. Let's go. Let's go. See? I knew we'd overcome. We got smart people like Labola in here, though. Labola and Connoisseur. What do we got? Yeah, the overcomers, baby. Heck yeah. Once you get in the channel, then I will drop the link in the Discord. And I'll at you at it, but I need your Discord name once you get in there. Uh-oh. What's going on with my internet? My internets are acting up. Better be. Get that figured out. Real quick. In the dark room. Nice. Got it. Got it. Got it. Okay. Hmm. I just wanted to add you, but that's okay. At Luke of Nevada. Okay, got it. And get the link here. Whoops. All right. And Bible. Click on that, and as soon as he does, I should be able to add him straight in here. So, hello, Shannon. What's going on? Welcome, everybody. Let me go back and read some of these comments now, real quick, while we're waiting on Land Bible. Amazing, you guys. You're going to come join us. Let's see. The bull is out for commentary. Well, here we go. Land is overcoming. Nice. I'm not saying that they weren't cool doors. Wait, what happened? What did I miss? Oh, okay. You were talking about the garage doors. Gotcha. All right. I missed all that. Sorry. Welcome, Shannon. Nice. Michael says, can a woman forget her nursing child and refuse to have compassion on the child of her womb? Hey, oh, here he is. Hey, oh.
Hey, how's it going?
Nice. Welcome.
Oh,
Do you want us
don't
to still refer to you as go by your government name? Just your first
it
name,
doesn't matter.
if you want.
Luke or Land. It's actually my YouTube channel was Loud and Proud Bible Time, and then it just got shortened to L and P, but people just see it as Land. But yeah.
Yeah,
So what's
I
going on, man?
understand. Yeah, that's fine with me. Oh, L and P. Okay, I see it now. Yep, I see it. Nothing. Welcome. Amazing, brother. How's it going?
It's going all right. Uh, Pretty slow day. I've been out of a job for like 4 months, so just been kind of living the unemployment life, trying not to go crazy of boredom.
For sure, I totally understand. Well, hopefully that's all going, good for you though.
Yeah, definitely better and better day by day. It's been a struggle for me the last few years, just like since I had my kid, kind of started becoming more aware of like how I affect other people, and like that's really what started my journey was my kid, and then I was like, I need to be better. Yeah, and then
Let's go. At least you're reflecting and looking inward and seeing that it's, you got to change yourself. You can't change others. So you certainly can't help others until you fix yourself.
yeah,
Definitely.
it's all a battle of the self. It took a long time for me to realize that. A lot of beating my head against walls and stuff. Literally and figuratively.
That's pretty much what the topic is tonight is, it's a way for us to look inward to find these answers in talking about that and talking about the second death and what the first death was. And, in that book of Revelations that they're talking about, um, you know, looking inward to see that, what that first death is. It's exactly what, we're talking about here, just like that, what you're saying, and seeing what's going on inside of us. And
Nice.
nice. Cass, thank you for the happy poo. Appreciate Much appreciated. But yeah, what do you think about that? The first death and the second death that they speak of in Revelations. Do you have a thought on that?
I never. I've read Revelations, but like, there's so much going on in there, and it's so dense. Like, I feel like I never really internalized any of it, or like really was able to keep up with it mentally. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah,
it was all way over my head.
it's like an acid trip. That's it. It truly is. It's absolute insanity what's going on there. And it really makes me think of looking back at what's going on inside my head and the things that go on in there, and that those thoughts that Satan brings in our heads of those extreme things like that. It definitely reminds me of that, and how if we if we let our minds run wild, who knows what we're gonna find in there. So
Yeah,
we got to be
you
careful. I mean, the people
definitely
that we're talking
brought awareness to that, of like just not letting the thoughts control you, or like you don't have to feed into them, And they say practice mindfulness. I've been practicing mindlessness, and that's been nice.
very nice. Being aware of it, just watching it, knowing that it's there and you're aware of what's going on, but having no reaction to it will truly let you see, that you've been wrong, that you've been angry. It'll open you up to all that stuff. But you have to see what's going on. You have to see that, what's going on in your head isn't you. Those thoughts are not you, man. It's wild what goes on in there.
Oh yeah, it really is, and it's definitely been better the last few weeks. I still get swept up into the storm every once in a while, but then it's a lot easier for me to come back down from it. You know,
Do you doing this like fellowship and stuff helps with keeping you present and keeping your mind focused?
I think it does. Yeah, it's kind of like pretty much online, and then like dealing with my ex are like the only social interactions I have. So I think it's healthy for sure to have some kind of
Yeah.
fellowship, even if it's online. I've gone to a couple churches like in the last couple of years, and it's like anxiety overload every time I do it. So I was just like, I'm just gonna get the heck out of there and never do it again.
We feel so comfortable at church. It should be like the most comfortable place you feel. You should feel at perfect peace. Why do we feel so awkward in church like that?
Yeah, it's very strange. It feels like there's like a dark energy for sure, or like there's something disingenuous, like people aren't being their true selves, and when you're not being your true self, then it makes people uncomfortable that are being their true selves.
A lot. Exactly the same thing is that, whenever I would go to church, I would always look around and these people are like so into it. They're all seem like they all get it, and they're all really happy, and they're raising holy hands, and they're all into their Bibles, and they're reading, and it's like, what's wrong with me? What on earth
Right.
is wrong with me that I can't get it? I couldn't get with it. I couldn't understand. I never felt like it was my place. I never felt comfortable in there. And I always felt like an outsider, and I never understood it. But, now obviously as I'm getting older, God has shown me that He led me to that path so that way I didn't have that blinding me from the truth. So for me, it was really absolutely that it happened like that. And that I don't have to relearn in that biblical sense of something that a preacher has, beaten into us to believe instead of finding the truth for ourselves. So for me, it helped out a bunch.
Yeah. I think churches definitely like every church has like kind of a different focus, you know, but their focus is never the whole truth, it feels like, you know. Um like some it's like a prosperity gospel, some it's like you're all going to burn in hell for eternity, some of it's all like each church has its own like focus, but it's never the whole truth, you know.
Yeah. And then you've got the new age churches that are like super into emotion and feeling good and having concerts and you know they rock out. They get the whole band up there and then everybody's just at a rock concert. I was watching another church. It was an actual church where a pastor or a minister was up there preaching the word. And man, the people in church, it was almost awkward watching them. It's like they couldn't stop moving, they couldn't sit still, they were real fidgety and like moving around. I don't know. I just don't see that. If you're in church, I don't see Satan's controlling us obviously in there too. He's still in our thoughts, but man, it should be the most comfortable place. And I just noticed that so many people are looking more and more uncomfortable as I'm seeing and I'm overcoming and seeing what's going on inside of me. It's revealing to me that man, they're going through the same thing. They put on this fake though. We talk about this showcase personality that everybody puts on when they show up at church, and they all pretend that they get it. Why is that? How does everybody get it, but then we feel lost sometimes? We feel like we're lost, and we look around, and it's like everybody's getting it, but they're all lying. They're all putting on that showcase. They
Just a
don't even
mask.
get it.
Yeah, but then like you teach and you just love them anyway, right? And if you have to go to a church, just be yourself, even if it's uncomfortable for them and yourself, and love them anyway. Easier said than done. My instinct was get out, run away.
That moment too, that feeling in that church, you have to overcome that moment to stay there. But I assure you that Satan is waiting in that place for you. Satan knows that the people that are coming to church are the ones that he can manipulate, the ones that are needing that reassurance and faith. And sometimes those are the easiest people to get control of. And he does it by not making them think about Satan. He does it by making them think they know about God when they have all
or,
this knowledge of him, but they really.
or they do it like the other way, where they make them focus only on Satan and then control them with the fear, you know. And
Yeah, that's as real big Baptist style, I think, do that a lot. The fear of the fear of hell and the fear of Satan and the fire and the hell and the brimstone. I'm not sure. Again, I'm not super into, but I think Baptist is one that's pretty heavy into the fear aspect of that side of the Satan side of it.
right.
So
And there's plenty of fear in the world without uh, pulling up the fear in the Bible. We don't need a lot more of that stuff, I don't think. I don't think it helps people. I think it makes people like when you do that, you can turn a Judas or a Peter into a Judas. You know, like Peter and Judas messed up in the same ways. And I'm regurgitating this from somebody else I heard it from. But like Peter and Judas, they messed up in the same ways. But Peter returned to Jesus and humbled himself, and Judas went into despair and hated himself and hung himself eventually. Um,
no.
and when you're just like beating people over the head with shame and condemnation, that's what you do to them, you know? Or you can do that to them, and that's just not right in my view, but to each their own, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. And off topic completely, but just because you mentioned it, do you think that Judas was saved? Do you think that Judas, if you want to consider it heaven or hell, right? But do you think that Judas had returned to the Father, or do you think that he dropped his body in anger?
My personal view is that if hell is real, it's not forever, you know? I don't believe in an eternal hell. It doesn't sit right with my soul that a loving father uh, would do that. But I could be wrong on that too. Um,
You
but
read
it
what
just it feels like it feels like I don't know. That's all I'll say. I have no idea. I have no clue.
you read what John 5 says. It says, many will be saved after death, but few in the body. So, I mean, if you read into that, and if you want to take the scripture as the word in that way, that says to me that you might have a chance to be saved even after death, even after you drop the body anyway, not the death of, unless they're speaking of the ego death, that many will be saved after the ego death. But if you know, that would make sense because you would still be in the body. So, but yeah, if if you still have a chance after death, but you have a chance right now in the body, is what they're saying. That you don't have to wait. That heaven is within. You know, you can be in heaven right now in the kingdom of heaven within yourself, in your heart, and hell is definitely where the people are right now in that fallen state. It's not a place that they're going to, man. People are living in hell right now. Every person that sits there and lives in depression and anxiety and fear and sadness and grief and lust, that's hell, man. That is truly hell. And once you
Yeah,
drop that, once
so
you
I'm not gonna come on
you
here
drop
and lie and say I'm like I experience peace and joy and love and all that all the time. I get glimpses, little glimpses of it, but I'm definitely still in the overcoming stage at and just pushing further and further into that. But I fall constantly, and I'd say it's still a ways off for me. It feels like as much as I try.
Mhm.
And that might be my issue. Maybe I'm
Yeah.
trying too hard or something. I don't know what it is.
The thought that you even have a time frame or you're a long ways away from it, it's just another thought, man. That isn't real.
Yeah.
That's just another trick Satan puts in your head to make you feel like you're so far away. But I can tell you this, that just that you're looking at inward and that you're overcoming, God sees that. Just that's enough for God to see what you're doing. He sees what's going on. And then the rest is just going to see, seeing that you were wrong for resenting and having anger, going and forgiving those that you need to, i.e., your parents, and then God will forgive you, and the rest is done. But the thing is that you can't have an expectation. Satan's going to he'll be on you. The more you try and overcome, know that the more Satan is going to be on you. He is going to come
Oh
at you. He's
yeah.
going to
I've
throw every single.
experienced unreal spiritual warfare in my life to where it doesn't even make sense, like it like Truman Show, like style, like weird stuff. Like I was at the park today and some guy literally like came out of the bushes. It was like, "Hey, I'm Peter." It was like trying to stop me from going on a walk at the park. And he was like, "I'm up here out to no good." I was like, "Oh, well, God bless you, Peter. That great day." So bizarre. And it's always like that. It's constant. Um yeah, and the way I view it is even if it never happens in my lifetime, there's nothing else worth pursuing than the joy and
Yeah.
the peace of God, So it doesn't matter if it happens next week or if it never happens. I'm going to still keep that going on that journey.
Yeah, truly, it's absolutely amazing. I guarantee the one thing I know for sure is it will happen, but you just can't have an expectation of when. And you do have to, admit you're wrong and go through that and forgive so that way you can be forgiven to get all the way through it. But the beginning starts with seeing what's going on in your head. That's what starts the ball rolling, is once you realize that that's not you in there, you can see that all those thoughts and everything that was controlling you your whole life, man, never was
Yeah.
you, not for one second. You've been always been controlled by that thought. And until you see it and overcome it, you don't even know it. I mean, it is truly like the greatest trick that Satan did on everyone was making you think that that's you in there. I mean, I've had so many deep conversations with myself before I overcame. I mean, I really thought it was me in there talking to. And I've been talking to Satan my whole life, man.
Yeah.
Ever since
Yeah, that's very relatable. Yeah, and then the ego with that, like we figure some stuff out, and like I was saying in the chat, I think yesterday, like my daughter always is telling me, I know everything now. or she learns one new thing. Now I know everything. It's like you kind of feel that way, or you can feel that way once you start to figure out some spiritual knowledge. I don't know if you've ever heard that spiritual narcissism. That's such a dangerous, and I've definitely fallen prey to it before, thinking like, oh, now I know this spiritual truth,
Yeah.
so now I'm such an ascended master or something crazy, something completely delusional.
Yeah. Started overcoming and I realized what was going on. Man, it was such an amazing feeling. I just had to run and tell everybody. I was so excited. I had to give this gift to somebody else. I didn't realize that it was just for me. I had no idea that God
Yeah.
had chose me for this, give it to anyone else. I ran to everybody to try and tell them, and they hated
I
me
don't
for it.
I
Uh,
don't know if I'll ever
and
learn my lesson on that. I am such a blabbermouth, and I'm constantly, I feel like, getting convicted, and like it almost feels like punished by God for it, because I'm so bad at keeping my mouth shut once I figure something out. I'm like, yeah, people gotta know, and then I'm like, oh, why did I freaking do that again? It's like a constant, it's like a hamster wheel for me.
that lives within us. It truly is. It's
Yeah.
that same spirit that controls us. It controls that thought. It wants you to feel good. You know, Satan, he wants you to feel good. That way you'll think that it's the good side of you, and then you'll come back for more. If he's got you feeling good, it's the same trick. It'll keep you coming back for more, and then he'll crush you with something that, he'll give you something bad and it'll absolutely destroy you.
And that I heard this from, I don't know if you've ever seen the channel Tack Room Bible Talk. You ever heard of that
No,
one?
I haven't.
He's a YouTube guy. He just talks about Christianity. I highly recommend him. He's like an old cowboy. He gives old cowboy Christian wisdom. It's enjoyable. Um,
Yeah.
and he was just saying, like with the new age, like Christian rock type of stuff, it's really dangerous for believers because they come in on like an emotional high, and
Oh,
then they're
yeah.
always chasing that, and they think if they don't get the emotional high that God's not with them. And it's like, no, that's just not how God works.
That's kind of like that new age, like this movement, this kind of hip movement where a lot of these kids are falling into the ego of it because it's like the cool thing to do now. And even though
Yeah.
I think it's coming back and getting with God and moving towards that, it's still completely ego based. And if we don't tell people that, they'll fall into that ego, and Satan will make them think it's God. They'll have them tricked. They'll be worshiping Satan their whole lives, and they'll call it God.
Yeah, it's totally crazy. I never would have thought I would have saw that in my lifetime. Like the huge like surgence in Christianity again. It's really bizarre.
It's the
Not
youth.
saying it's
It's
bad.
very
It's just not something I expected. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very different to see these young people and these young, kind of up and coming like singers and celebrities kind of pushing towards that. But it truly is. It's one of those things where you have to watch it because that's how Satan does it, man. He will trick us. So just be aware. Again, once you see that what's going on inside of you, you can, God will give you the ability to see it outside of you and others. So you'll be able to see it going on. I'm sure you're already seeing it. If you're working on yourself, you're already seeing that kind of thing. Do you ever just try and just be silent whenever something's telling you to tell somebody or talk to somebody? Do you ever just try not doing what the thoughts tell you?
Yeah, I think my last job taught me that a lot. But then I kind of I like always have had office jobs, and it's like me and 10 other women, and it's always a tough spot to be in as a man, because like everything you're saying is under a magnifying glass, and everything you do is under a magnifying glass. So I think
And if you still have that spirit inside of you, that spirit of your mother that you haven't overcome, you're just like them. You fall
yeah,
right into it.
the
And
gossip and
talk.
the bickering and oh my gosh, it's exhausting. I'm ready to never do that again. It's just it's not healthy. And yeah, I don't think I've fully overcome it because I always get sucked right back into like the little group chats and stuff they start, and I feel a need to like be a part of it, you know. Uh, like uh, I'll do good when I'm in a job for like 3 or 4 months, and I'll resist, and they'll like send the group chat invitations, and like, oh, we all want to be like best buddies or whatever, and I'm like, nah, cool, but then eventually I always get sucked in, and then it's an issue, and then
Yeah.
I'm gossiping, and it's no
The
good.
thing is, too, with stuff like that, you can get into the group chat, but then it's so best to sit. And I was going to tell you this: it's so best to sit and just kind of watch what everybody else is going on, so that way you can kind of see what's going on inside of you before you even say anything in it. But I was having this with my son tonight, telling him, he really he got it inside, has to like make people laugh and smile. So he's always like trying to tell a joke or say something funny or be funny or talk or always do something. So I told him, tomorrow I think it'd be helpful just when I did go the
Oh,
anybody
it's
every time
breaking
that
up
thought
on
comes.
me a little bit. The sound is.
What is
Might be
it?
my internet. I said the sound's breaking up on me a little bit. It might be my internet.
Yeah, that happens. But I was just telling him that to just go and be silent for the day, not really talk to anybody, don't judge people, don't do your normal thing. Comes for that walk. See that it's there, silent, and don't say. So we'll see how he does
They hate
doing that as
that
well.
when you're like the funny
Yeah,
guy, and I did that at my last job too. Like I was like, I'd find myself wanting to be the funny guy again, and then I'm like, wait, I don't have to be that. That doesn't have to be my identity, and I'm gonna put it down for now. And boy, people feel it, and they're like, they start trying to like set little traps for you, or just try to suck you back into it, like entertain me again, and then it's just like, I don't think that's
yeah,
gonna be good for me. So, but
does
yeah,
he
it's
wants to keep it. It's exactly what Satan does. He wants to pull you back to so that way you're thinking about you, being silent and being. It is. It's the greatest trick that he did. He's constantly pulling us back into that moment, lost again. So, but yeah, we'll see how he does. I don't know. It's been basically his whole personality that he, has to. And I get it because I like that a lot. But now I've found that in moments, besides this, I know I talk a lot on here. You guys think I never. I totally get it. But outside of this, when I go, I'm there to listen. Everything in. When I went to with Skylar a couple weeks ago, I wasn't there to talk bring any of. And no matter what, every time something came in my head, oh, say this, say that, oh, tell them this. I had 4 pages of stuff that I wrote down to talk about with them as they were talking, and I never said one word of any of it. Never mentioned one of the things. And I just wanted to bring all that out of me on that paper, but not say any of it, and just to overcome that feeling myself too. So it was for me. If I were to go back and talk to them, if they needed my help, I would love to help them and talk to them and help them see to overcome. But it wasn't my place. You know what I'm saying? We have to know our places like that. And I was there as an observer, and it was time for me to just be quiet and observe. And I found that the more that I do that, and the more places I do it, the better off I end up coming out of it, and the worse off the other coming out of it. The more, as
that's
in,
the worst thing when you try to help somebody and your help hurts them. So yeah, it's better to just stay quiet a lot of the times until you know for sure that they need to hear something. Uh,
yeah,
I finally stopped doing that, but with my ex, I was always trying to fix her, and always trying to give her like the advice, and like she didn't want it. So it's like, why did I feel the need to keep trying to do that? It was so exhausting, and I finally was like, oh, I'm the problem. I gotta just fix me, and her issues are
right.
her issues, my issues are my issues. It was beating my head against the wall for so long, and it broke me down. But it needed to happen, you know.
Break you down to bring you out of it for sure. 100%.
Yeah,
So,
fully worth it for sure.
I don't know if you heard me tell this story, but something very similar happened to me with my kids. Whenever I first started overcoming, I told you I had that feeling I wanted to run and tell everybody. Well, the first thought was I'm going to run and tell my ex-wife so that way, we can start bringing this to the kids and help them. And so when I went and told her, I gave her the information. I wasn't really big into like preaching it all so much at the time or talking about it, but I just gave her the places to look for it for herself where I had found the answers. And so when I did that, she hated it. Man, she did not agree with it at all, right? So she totally hated it. She hates me for it. Well, now that my kids
It's
have
because she
returned
just
and
hated
they're,
you. She saw that you had the light and that you were working on yourself, and she hated you for it. And yeah, the same exact kind of deal with me. Anything I said, it couldn't be. You might trip if you don't tie your shoes. Maybe tie your shoes, and you're like, oh, well, I'm never ever tying my shoes ever again because you said it. Type of deal. Yeah.
so then now that my kids have come back and they've because they were estranged for like 2 years. I didn't talk to my kids. When I was
Oh,
overcoming
cool.
and going through that I couldn't love them the right way, so I wasn't trying to force it on them. I waited till they came back and they returned to the Father, and when they did, then I was able to give them that perfect love, and they see that now. But unfortunately, because I went to my ex-wife and told her about all this, now that my kids are doing it too, and they're starting to overcome and work on themselves, she hates them for it too, man. All I would have had to done is keep my mouth shut about it and not tell her anything, and she would probably be okay with them doing this. But because she knows that it's coming from me, she hates them for it too. She hated them anyway because she's full of hate like that. She for sure. But yeah, it ruined the chance of them ever being able to overcome and talk to her about it, and her being just okay with it and on board with it because of me telling her that originally. So I messed that deal up. I should have been silent, man. I didn't even realize.
But it's in the past, so it
Yeah.
was a mistake. But it's not in God's eyes. It's not a mistake anymore. It's all water under the bridge. God is forgives us and pulls us out of it, but we still live in this 3D world, so there's still always consequences to all our actions. But that doesn't mean that
Yeah.
that has anything to do with God. That's just the world we live in.
I didn't know at the time, but it was a learning, thing. It was another thing that I had to see to understand to overcome that moment too. It's unfortunate that now my kids have to deal with that moment with their mom, but it's also good because now they can see, just like I was telling my son, he's terrified to go and forgive his mom because he knows what's going to happen, or at least he thinks he does. Who knows really? You can't have an expectation of what's going to happen when you go and forgive. But he thinks he knows, and so he's terrified of it. He's absolutely terrified of her. And that's what's keeping him from doing it is that fear. And so like I was telling him, we have to overcome that fear. You've got to overcome the fear. And in doing that, he'll see that the evil is going to come out in her. He needs to see it. It will be good for him to see that. It won't be a bad thing. If she goes nuts and goes crazy and cusses him out and tells him she hates him and all this stuff, that's God showing him in that moment that, look, this is what you're facing. This is the reason that you're doing this. This is the reason that you're going and forgiving so you don't have to hold on to this any longer. So it'll be an absolutely perfect, beautiful thing. But when you're over, it's hard to see that. When you have that fear of someone like your mom, it's hard to see, especially if your child like his mom is, and just like, she's very angry. That's very difficult to deal with.
Yeah, my ex, my baby mama, she's I think like borderline personality disorder or something along those lines. So she just like she doesn't get her way. She escalates it to like the highest level, that it could possibly go. So yeah, I totally relate to that. And it's when you're dealing with somebody like that, it's terrifying. And it took me forever to just like figure out like I just need to walk away from this relationship. I just kept going back for more turd sandwiches. It was rough.
We Those women are God. It's the exact same thing that happened in the garden. The woman made Satan her God when she listened to the serpent and ate from the tree of knowledge. And when we listened to Eve, we made woman our God. Adam made Eve his God. And it's been happening to every single person exactly the same ever since. Not one person has been free of that since that time. Every single one of them has succumbed to it, except for Jesus Christ, of course. There was one, but everyone
Just
else
one.
was
Yep.
every single person to this day, however many billions of people there have been, every single one of them went through the exact same thing. They all had to overcome that, and it's still going on today. And that's what's going on with with my ex for sure. Is she just has that spirit in her still. She got it from her mom, and she doesn't know how to overcome it. She doesn't have anybody there to you know guide her in that right direction. She doesn't see it within herself, and so it's just a constant
And,
battle within herself.
and most people, they don't want to overcome it. They love it. They love the anger, and I did for a really long time. It feels good in the moment to just like blow up, or like, somebody's messing with you, beat their ass or something like that. It feels good in the moment, but then later when you're reconnecting with your heart, all that stuff is going to come right back on you, and you're going to feel all of it just the way you did it to them. you know it's gonna You're gonna whoop your own ass with it, basically. What you do to others, you're doing to yourself, really.
Absolutely. Have you ever noticed that when you get into those rages or you get super angry, it's almost like an out of body experience? It's like it's not even you.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Like
uh,
something else is
I wonder what it could be.
man. True. We are definitely being controlled.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, that it takes most of us so long to wake up to it, and I'm not there yet. I'm still trying. I still have my battles. Like, I live next to my neighbors, and we like live in a duplex, so we share the same wall. And they get loud sometimes, and I'm like, I'll be quiet and I'll sit with it for like a couple weeks, and then I'm like, I'm gonna go over there and say something to them. It's like, but why? You know, or if I'm gonna say something, do it nicely. Approach it courteously, but that spirit of anger, and then boy, basket case sometimes
Absolutely.
with it.
Oh, that's so deep though, because at fellowship, at Bond, I know I tell you guys about Bond, the fellowship we go to on Sundays. You guys can check it out on YouTube. The Brotherhood Organization of a New Destiny, and it's on at 11 p.m. I'm sorry, 11 a.m. Pacific time. And so you guys check that out. But there's some people on there, and they say exactly the same thing you just said. Their neighbors are bothering them. It's a young gal, and she's working on herself. She's trying to overcome, but she's young, and I don't too young, but she's young enough that she's still trying to figure it out. And her neighbors, so she was in a place where her roommates were being really, mean to her or whatever. And so she had to get away from that. She had to move out of there. She didn't know how she was going to do it. Well, she overcame all of it. She got a new place. She moved out, so she's got this new place. Well, then she got to the new place, and lo and behold, there's another problem. That as long as you're looking for problems, they always come. But so these new neighbors, they were too loud. They were making noise and banging walls and banging on the floor. And basically she went from one hell to another. Because it was in her mind, it was the thoughts that she had that she deserved something more than what she was given. And then this last Sunday, she was on fellowship again, and they were talking about it. And she came to the realization that even with that noise on, she has everything in the world that she needs. There's truly nothing going on outside of just her thoughts that's the problem. The noise, it's really not a problem. It's nothing. It's just something that gets to her. And so it's irritating her because that same thing that's going on in her thoughts. And then she lets it take control of her. And the next thing she knows, she's mad about it. But now she's coming to the realization like, man, I have a home, car, I'm able, just I have my life and things are good. There's no reason to be upset. So in that way, she's seeing the same thing. She's like, you can talk to somebody, go and tell them how you feel. If they're causing noise, talk to them like a normal human being. Just say, hey guys, I don't know if you know if it's possible for you to do, but sometimes you guys
Yeah.
things are a little loud and crazy.
I
I
fumbled that opportunity to handle it like a mature adult for sure. And I definitely saw that. So once I think I got to do something nice for him just as a peace offering. Like, hey, that was totally me and not you. You know, you guys are loud sometimes, but that's not my problem, and it shouldn't be my problem. And if karma's a thing, I definitely deserve it because I saw Connoisseur comment earlier. Guess what drug Luke was on when he was still in substance, and it was about 20 beers a day when I was in the deep end. And boy, I was just a maniac. And
yeah.
every neighbor I ever had was like really bothered by me with good reason, you know. And if karma's a thing at all, yeah, maybe having a bad or a loud neighbor really isn't the worst punishment I could get for that, you know.
Sometimes, and I mean, you might even get to the point where you look at it as a good thing. It's another thing to overcome, man. I can tell you this for sure that as I keep overcoming everything that's put in front of me, it becomes a good thing. I'm anxious to overcome that next thing, no matter what it is, whether it be from somebody else or within myself. I'm just waiting for that moment because I know that now I can through God, I can overcome absolutely everything in the world. There is nothing in this world that I can't overcome. So I want to just every opportunity that comes for that, I want to go through it. I want to go through it. I don't want to hide from it. I don't want to run away from it. I don't want to be scared of it. I don't want to have any fear. I want to face everything I need to overcome and overcome it in real time and see and learn all those lessons that I need to learn that I should have learned all throughout my life. I wasted, however many years living, giving everything to Satan and time to give everything to God. So it's absolutely beautiful. I mean, it's a good thing. What people consider a struggle, hard times, to me, it's absolutely amazing. I love it. I love feeling the be able to. What a
And
difference!
even with all
Complete
the
opposite.
insanity going on in the world, um, how good we have it compared to people even 200 years ago, it's it's not the same, you know. You die walking to get water at 30 or something, you know. It's like we live in a
About
pretty
how
good
easy.
time in a pretty good world, you know. And
Think about
even if it's not, but that's fine too, you know. This life is temporary, but yeah, that temptation to overcome evil with evil instead of overcome evil with good, it's always there. But I'm starting to see it and wake up to it more and more. It's yeah.
once. Yeah, that's exactly what God wants. It's so funny that you know 200 years, like you said, things have been made so easy for us, right? We've been given all this life of an easy life. We don't have to go and work near as hard, manual labor, life, work in the land. And yet, 200 years ago, they were so much closer to God, man. Their spiritual side was so much stronger than ours. And as times got easier, we just ran further away from God. Instead of being able to go toward God wanted us for things to be easier for us to spend more time with God. So that way we could enjoy God more and have more of those moments. He doesn't run away from him because things got easy, but that's sure what we did. 200 years ago, people had a much stronger faith. They knew what was going on, in fact. Not only faith in God,
Yeah.
but faith in the family themselves.
I think yeah, lives were shorter, but lives were fuller too, for sure back
Yeah,
then. Yeah, the connection was there still,
yeah,
and
definitely.
I mean, most of us, like at least in my generation, we were raised by like a TV, you know, just spewing out all kinds of nonsense, like with no connection whatsoever. So we find it later in life. Maybe that's why lives are longer because they have to be longer for us to. After the childhood,
Find
you got to live longer to reestablish the connection. You know, you only needed
that's
to
deep.
you only needed to live 30 or 40 years to have your full connection with God restored. now we got to get to like 70 or 80, you know?
Yeah, you know what? That is super deep. I never really thought about that and looked at it like that, but man, that is deep. That is definitely something to reflect on and just sit back and smoke on and let God, reveal something to you in that moment. Because man, that's so true. They didn't need that amount of time. They had faith at a much earlier age. In fact, some of them probably had it, their whole lives. Back when they had fathers that loved God with all their heart, soul, and might from the beginning, um, then that's what they were able to be raised with that mentality. So now it's like we're so far away from everything's about self. It's all ego. Everybody just wants to feel good and have a and not put in the work. And we've gone a long ways from where we were in a short amount of time. It's like you're talking about tens of thousands of years it was one way, and now in the last 1,000 years or whatever, there's been an insane change. And in fact, it's been much less. It's probably more like a couple hundred years, like you said,
Yeah,
that
like
the
200
real
years and the whole world was flipped on its head. Yeah, 100%. And
yeah,
yeah, I think the notion that things are so much better today, that's definitely got to be a lie. Because like there's no depth in people anymore. If you look at the writing in like the 1700s, even in 1800s, it's like there is so much soul that you could just feel like in every page. Like it wasn't forced, this was just an outpouring of their soul and you could feel it from the page, whereas you don't really get that anymore. And if you do, it's really forced. Like people really got to push it out of them. It's like we're all spiritually constipated or something. Yeah.
yeah. But it's like because of that easy life that we've been given, we don't do any self-reflection anymore. It's like those people that had those, strong revelation, they were reflecting all the time. They were sitting in silence and without TV and without radio and without all those distractions. And they were just, reflecting inward. And now, how long does it go by before people don't have a distraction? I mean, can they even have 10 seconds of silence, some people where they
I
live? I don't think
I
they
can't
can.
most of the time. Most of the time, I'm on YouTube Shorts, and like, oh boy, it's destroyed my mind and my ability to just connect with self. It's horrible, and it's like it's so addicting. You know, you break like I've broken off like a lot of addictions, but yeah, it's just like you don't even realize the other addictions that were there underneath it all the whole time. You know, it never stops. That's I guess that's why you got such a perfect name, habitual overcomers.
Do you know about the silent prayer?
Uh-uh.
Maybe talk about it.
No, I haven't heard it. What's the silent prayer about?
Oh, what God wants you to be still and know Him. And so the prayer, the conventional prayer that most churches have taught us, is to go and ask for things, to beg Jesus to do this and do that for us, and that's just not what God wants. The prayer that God wants is for you to just be still and be present with Him. So that's why we call it the silent prayer. There's no asking for anything. It's basically just it's like meditation, except it's observation. You don't fall away from in your mind. You don't try and go out of your body. You stay in it and you watch everything. But you can go to rebuildingtheman.com/silent prayer. And there's a whole video on there of how to do it. And it's truly just being silent and reflecting and seeing what's going on inside you. And it'll bring you closer to any, you know, prayer where I've asked for raise holy hands, that type of prayer. I've never experienced what I experienced in silent prayer. And so I always suggest to people to do it at least morning and night, especially when you're first starting to overcome. You'll see once you watch and see what it's about. And it's on YouTube too. If you look up the silent prayer on YouTube, it'll be there too. Rebuildingtheman.com/silent prayer will just take you directly to Bond's website. And so you'll be able to see it there. But as you reflect silently like that, it will just teach you to watch what's going on inside of you. And and then it just reveals to you more than the standard prayer. And it's going to ease those moments where you have that crazy thought where your mind is racing and you can't settle your mind down. And it's really going to, when you do it at night, it sets the tone for your whole day of keeping that focus and staying present without it. Now, anymore, since I've been, overcoming for some time now, I don't even do it in the morning and night anymore. Sometimes I'll do it 30 times a day. Sometimes it'll just happen. Sometimes I'll once what once you start doing it, you'll see that you don't have to do it all the time. But when you're first starting out, it's very good to stay focused so that way you can really watch your thoughts. So I suggest to everybody that's wanting to work on themselves, go check that out. Just look up the silent prayer or go to rebuildingtheman.com/silent prayer and check it out, man. It's absolutely amazing. It has
I'll
changed the
definitely
way
check
that I
that out.
pray. What's that?
Oh, I said I'll definitely check that out. That sounds awesome.
Absolutely amazing. So,
Yeah,
and
when you
so
were talking about the begging prayer, I saw in the Bible the Lord's Prayer. That's the prayer Jesus said to say. Um,
mhm.
I think that's such a perfect prayer if you need to say words, you know. But yeah, I'll definitely check out the silent prayer.
Do you know the Lord's Prayer off the top of your head?
Yeah, you want me to say it? Okay, cool. Uh, Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us of our trespasses, as we forgive those who have trespassed against us. Lead us not to temptation, but deliver us from evil. For yours is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
Man, amazing, brother. Nice. That was beautiful.
I love that. Yeah, it is the most perfect prayer. It covers all the bases, you know?
That's
And
very nice.
I don't think you need
Any
any
more?
other prayer for
No.
if you need a spoken prayer. There's no begging. There's just, I want my daily needs. I don't want to be condemned for trespassing against others, and I don't want to be angry against others for trespassing against me. And help me overcome Satan. You know, it's all in there. It's perfect.
Amazing teachings in that prayer. Absolutely beautiful teachings coming from God in that prayer. I like to talk to people about now is even when I do like what you're saying, if I ask for something from God, the only thing that I ask for anymore is that He gives me the ability to overcome. If I'm having a hard time, I just ask Him to show me what I need to do to have the ability to overcome, and His will be done. I ask for nothing else. Whatever He sees fit to set in front of me, I want that. And I just want Him to help me have the ability to overcome it, whatever it is, without anger. So,
Yeah, without
anymore, I
anger is
ask
the
for,
biggest thing. Yeah, and if you have the anger, not to act from that place. Jesus said, so what do it like somebody was asking him like, so what do we do, you know? He's like, be angry and sin not, you know. It's like you can feel it but you don't have to act from that place, you know.
and
um
that's there is the separation of that thought that we're talking about. That's what Jesus wanted you to do too. He said, bring all thought into captivity. And that includes anger because it's not from you. That thing that you think is you that's angry, it's not even you. It's that spirit that lives within us. And that's why we should bring all thoughts into captivity. All thoughts are all lies all the time, except practical thought, like what we were talking about. I need to tie my shoe. I need to eat some food. I'm hungry. I need to go to work. I got to set my alarm clock. Those are practical thoughts. But yeah, all those other thoughts that are circling your head, man, it is not you.
I heard
It's
it
all a
put an
lie.
interesting way from this channel I watched called The Kingdom of God. um and he said it's not you, it's your flesh, you know, because your flesh, like we're a soul inhabiting a body, so they're
Yep.
separate things, you know. So your body only cares about procreating and exalting itself and like getting itself in the best position. Your body doesn't give two rats asses about where your soul's gonna go when you die because it's not even aware of the soul, you know. But your soul Yeah, it's just your flesh, and your
Hmm.
brain, I think, is part of your flesh. So your
It is.
all those thoughts you think are you, yeah, they're not you. They're just part of your body.
Fact, the brain isn't even there for thought. The brain is there for the function of the body. The brain is truly there for the function of the body. The thought happened because of what happened in the garden. And so, because of what transpired there, now we have Satan in our minds too, just like that. And it transpires through through birth from the mother, and then through also the father not protecting us from that spirit. So, it's definitely from our parents, but it's passed down from and not like they know. No parent sits there and says, "Oh, I know I'm evil. I'm going to pass this on to my kids." It just happens naturally.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that's just our flesh. Like you said, it happens naturally. Like we pass on our genetics and create other people. It just happens naturally, and then everything that comes with the flesh happens naturally too.
And that's why God said it is not a battle of flesh and blood, but a battle of the spirit. It's a battle of good and evil. The flesh and blood means nothing. It means absolutely nothing. Your body is not you. You are not your body. And you're also not your thoughts. All those thoughts that come to you, those are Satan's. You have to see that they're Satan's so that way you can give them back to Satan. Because every time you say, I'm angry, I'm this, I'm that, Satan's got you. He knows he's tricked you to make you think it's you. He's got a hold of you. Anytime that you get angry and you go and you say, man, I'm angry, he's got you, man. It never was you that was angry. It is that same spirit that lives inside of us. And the more that you catch it and the more that you're doing, like you say, you're working on it, you're seeing it, you'll start seeing it beforehand. You'll see that anger, you'll feel it start creeping up the back of your neck and coming to the front of your mind. And you'll be able to be aware of that. And that will signal you to see the thought coming ahead of time. And then you truly you won't be angry at all. Even if Satan's there trying to put that into you, it'll never come into you. You'll have that armor of God on, and he'll never be able to make you angry again. But you do truly have to see that it is not you in there at all. If you think it's you, he's got a hold of you. You'll blame
I just
yourself
gotta keep
forever.
pushing into it. Yeah, keep pushing into the Father. I think like it is really important to know like your birth father, because like they you get the whole blueprint for who you are from them. So like it's so much easier to see like the flaws and overcome them once you see them in your dad. I unfortunately like I never really connected with my real dad before he died. 'Cause my mom was like, he's the devil, and I like just totally bought into that hook, line, and sinker. And then after he passed away and I started this overcoming, I was like, man, I probably could have gotten a lot of information I needed from him.
Absolutely.
What a shame. But what can you do?
I mean,
You know?
pieces, our father the same, and they haven't overcome that spirit also. But truly, just like you said, to return to the Father in heaven, you must return to your earthly father. That is how you do it. It's just that our fathers are lost as well, man. We don't have the fathers like we used to that were, uh, overcome that spirit themselves. They have to overcome that spirit, or they'll lead you down that same path that they're on. And unfortunately, like I said, we just don't have that going on anymore. As the fathers get away, they're turning into mothers. There's hardly any men anymore. All the men in this world are turning into women. They're all emotional. They all live in fear. They're all just like their mother.
Yeah, that was
I
my
know I
dad for sure. Like the few interactions I did have from him, it would just be like a random phone call of him crying and like just like completely in shame, completely in fear, completely like just lost, man. That was um yeah, I think, and I have that same spirit where like I just want to feel ashamed for some reason and live in the shame instead of overcoming it and pushing forward. It's a
absolutely.
constant struggle. I haven't had much
Yeah.
victory with it really because we all sin, um, and especially before we're even aware of it. Because like I was raised in like a new age house. My mom was like totally into the other spirituality of worshiping the self, and so I had a very askew view of what was right and wrong, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you didn't have the Father to guide you in the right direction either, man. You had no help. You were lost right from the beginning, had zero chance to overcome before becoming an adult. At least now, as an adult, you have a chance to, get away from the spirit that was in your mom, and then, find what's right for you. So now you have that opportunity. But man, we don't even know what we do to our kids. So many people do. Even the parents that think that they're good, like they go to church every Sunday. You know what I'm saying? These people, they're the holy people that think they're destroying their kids too. They do the same thing because they have that same spirit, that anger and that fear and that anxiety. And instead of overcoming those things, they go to church and just pretend like they don't have it instead. And then they still give it to their kids. And then they wonder why going to church isn't working, why they still feel bad, why they still feel lost, why they still feel like they don't have love. Why do I still feel like, you know, my family doesn't love me? Why do I feel like my husband doesn't love me? And they just don't see. And instead, that's why we do this. That's why we talk about this and give everybody the truth so that way they can see this to overcome these things instead of just living with it. I don't know why
Right.
anybody would want to live. I cannot, after living for as many years as I had it, and now I haven't had it once since I overcame and I was born again in the spirit of the Father. I've not had depression one time, not once. And
I think the
so, no,
Pilgrim's Progress. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie or read that book. The Pilgrim's Progress.
I don't think so.
Um, they just illustrated it so well. Like this guy was living in the city of destruction, you know, where like everything's just constantly falling apart, and then he like reads the Bible and like is like, oh, I'm sick of this life, you know. I want to go to the eternal kingdom of glory, you know. And like as he starts his journey and he becomes like aware of his sin and his shame and everything, it literally turns into like a backpack on his back, like full of bricks,
Mm,
you know. And he's just dragging it
yeah,
around with him throughout his life, and that's exactly like how that feels. Um, and I think people like think that it's normal or that it's making them stronger or like something, you know, just to
yeah,
live in agony, you know. And that's not why God put us here, you know, is not to
yeah.
be in
And
agony.
that's a great analogy too. For Jesus wants you to take all that stuff, your backpack of bricks, right? That you just said. Jesus wants you to take that cross, put it on your back, and carry it right to God. He doesn't want you to change. He doesn't want you to do anything ahead of time. Go straight right now and give it to God, just like you are, with all that burden, with all that weight, with all your fear and your anxiety and depression and sadness. Go to God right now and give it to Him. He doesn't expect you to go to church and lose that in order to find Him. So the more that we think that those things that are burdening us, man, we should take that straight to God. Carry your cross just like Jesus did and carry it straight to God, man.
Yeah.
And that cross is, of
And he
course, all
leaves
of
you
that.
with it. It feels like he leaves you with it for a long time. So you never want to go back to it again. You know, once he releases you and breaks those chains off of you, like you said, it's like, why would I ever go back
Oh,
to that? I'm not to that point yet, but I'm sure when it does happen, I'll think the same way you do. Like, why would I ever go back to carrying that burden on my shoulders again? You know?
I think that people don't go through it all the way. They go through it part way and then they fall back because they always have someone telling them you're a sinner. If you think that you're a sinner your whole life, how could you ever overcome that? Knowing that the sin isn't you, that it's that spirit that lives inside of you, it gives you the ability to overcome that spirit. If you're the sinner, how could you ever overcome it? If that is you, you know God did not send you here a sinner. He sent you here a perfect, perfect soul. You were a perfect spirit. That sin that came into you afterwards. That's Satan's. It has nothing to do with God. God only sees that you're either your heart is pure or your heart is with Satan. That's the only thing God's seeing. He's not seeing the rest of the little things that we all are concerned with here. Um, but that is not that sin. It's not yours. You guys are not sinners. Nobody is a sinner. God did not send you here as a sinner. That came to you after God created you. Every single person that says that they are a sinner, they're doing a
All
huge
you gotta
detriment
do
to.
to realize that is just look back at your childhood. We were all innocent in childhood, and most of us, tons of horrible stuff happened. Tons of horrible stuff
And
happened, and then the spirit came in. Yeah, 100%. Makes sense.
when you were a kid, no matter who hurt you or no matter how mad your mom or whatever happened, you were able to still love them. It didn't change. Your mom could have left you at a
Not one
grocery
bit. I
store.
watched my parents fight violently all the time. I loved them. I was just like, oh, this is how my house is. You know, mommy gets mad, daddy throws stuff and breaks stuff. You know, and like it just like yeah, you totally don't view it through the lens of like how could they, like you do when you're an
Yep.
adult, when you have the awareness of the sin put into you. You know. And
That's
that's just like in the Garden of Eden. Who told you you were naked, right? Yeah.
100% the same. You nailed it, man. So yeah, so in that way, I always say, man, you guys don't call yourself sin. Know that you have that spirit and that you're working on it, but it's truly not you, man. God made you guys' souls perfect. God made your spirit perfect, and all you got to do is see that He did it, and the rest of it will come right into place.
100%.
That goes for anything too. Anytime you say that you're angry, I'm depressed, I'm sad, I'm mad, I'm this, I'm that. You guys, Satan hears that. He hears that you're saying I'm this, and he knows that he tricked you into believing you are that. So just know that it's him. Say that if you do have to even say it, I don't even say that kind of stuff anymore. But if you do have to say it, say, gosh, Satan's really making me upset. Satan's really got a lot going. Satan's really making me have some thoughts today. See it for what it is. So that way Satan knows you're onto him. The more that he knows you're onto him, the less he can attack you. Truly, Satan actually has no power at all. He only controls our thoughts. And through that, we hurt ourselves in those thoughts. He doesn't do it, but we do it ourselves because of he controls the thought. But
It
God, once
really
you have that
is
protection,
amazing what that awareness will do for you. Because I used to have like tons of demonic dreams constantly, like plagued by them. Um, and like in the dreams, I started like just praying, and, like saying Jesus's name, and like all of a sudden the whole dreamscape changed. You know, like the
yeah,
demons would literally flee out of my dream, and then I'm in a lucid dream. I'm able to do whatever I want in the dream world, like a video game. It was crazy, very bizarre.
wow,
And I remember the last one of the last ones I had. It was like a sleep paralysis dream. I don't know if you ever had one of those. And
yeah,
like I somehow like was able to force myself out of it before any of the like crazy torture torment stuff happened. I was like, "Oh no, that's not happening." And I got up and I like woke up and like a bunch of the stuff in my dream, like my couch was flipped over and like all everything on my walls was messed up in my dream, and I literally stood up, and when I walked into my living room, like everything flew back into place, and I was just like, what the heck just
what
happened? Like you
insane.
start to get, once you become aware of it, yeah, the devil really has no authority. Like
Yeah,
even in the dream world you can resist it. It's really bizarre. And it's not us, it's
absolutely.
totally just the power of God, you know?
Yeah, because he's in us. He's been there the whole time. He's been waiting for you to return. We're all waiting on God. Everybody, we're waiting on God, waiting on God, waiting on God. But he's waiting on us, man. He is really just sitting there waiting on us to return to him. He is inside of you. And as soon as you give it to him, you can be right there on the kingdom of heaven that's within you, right there with him. Right now, you don't have to wait another second. So it's amazing. I love talking to people that are overcoming and working on themselves. There's nothing better than these moments right here of, fellowshipping like this and just seeing other people that are at least looking inward. So many people only look outward. How many times a day do you hear, "You make me mad. You did this to me. You did that to me"? People are just so quick to blame everything, every one of their problems on everybody else in the world and
I
never
was
look
doing
inward.
that, so I truly had to isolate. Like it was so important for me to just get away from everybody. That way I don't have anybody to blame, you know? It's like it's just me, it's God, and that's it. So let's figure this out, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, it sounds like you're doing the right thing, you're working on yourself and you're here with us. Sounds like you're checking out some other places too. So that's always good to keep an open mind and don't ever feel like you have all the information. Never be too smart to learn some more when it comes
Right.
spiritually, you know, so much, but spiritually, never be afraid to open yourself up to the idea that maybe you don't know anything at all. Maybe I don't know nothing when it comes to God. So once you release
When it
that, once
comes
you let
to
go
the
of the thought,
vastness of God, it's impossible for us to know really anything, you know? It's
what he
impossible.
tells you, you just have to wait, and whatever he reveals to you, it's got to be good enough. I tell people all the time, I say, man, if this is all God gives me, it's perfect. If I don't get one thing else from God in the way of revelation, I've got enough. I have everything I need. So it's absolutely perfect. Do you have discussions with your daughter about this kind of stuff?
Yeah. Um like she's young, so it doesn't get too deep now. But she has so much awareness. It's insane. Like I asked her
Hmm.
the other day, she was like just checking herself out. She was like, "This is my body." I was like, "Yeah. Are you
Mm,
your body?" Like, "No. I'm in my body."
nice.
Whoa.
Deep truth is within all of us, so there would be no reason it wouldn't be within her too. But I was just asking because I've heard some other people talk about having some young kids, and I didn't have an opportunity to do this myself, which I would have loved to have had. But doing the silent prayer with their kids, like at dinner time, like for a couple minutes before dinner or something, and just setting that tone, you can really tell that it helped him with talking to his kids about the stuff. And then you could tell that the way that they saw what's going on inside of them during that silent prayer, that without even knowing it, they're already working on themselves. They're already just kind of looking inside themselves and seeing, like, hey, what's going on with this? Well, what's this thought? Why am I having this thought? What's going on with this? And
I
just
got to get
setting
more
that tone.
disciplined with it. Yeah, but I definitely do night I try to do bedtime prayers like praying like out loud. Uh
Yeah.
just saying what's on our mind to God together, you know. Uh, and I think that definitely is beneficial for her. Uh,
Yeah.
and I've definitely taught her like when can we pray? When we're mad, when we're sad, when we're scared, when we're yeah.
God says to pray
Pray what?
without ceasing.
Without ceasing. Yeah.
God wants you to do. And what he means by that is to stay present with him all the time. That's all it means. It doesn't mean that you're going to, do the, hands together, pray 24/7. But what he wants is to pray without ceasing means to stay present with him all the time. Don't fall into the past or the future or the imagination. Stay present. When you stay present, you are truly praying. That is the prayer that God wants you to do, is that you know that you're with him all the time, 24/7. It's the simplest prayer there is.
I've done it kind of like a mantra when I'm like, I have to overcome something and I know the thoughts are just going to take me right out, where I'll just over and over again in my head say the Lord's Prayer and do what I have to do, you know? So I don't like, because the doubts sometimes, especially like if you're early on in the journey like me, they'll just take you right out. Like, oh, I'm just not going to do
Mhm.
that, you know, because it's going to go terrible. This thing's going to happen, but you have to do it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Go further and further through it, you'll not want to use that anymore. You'll not want to get away from those moments. You'll be wanting to go into those moments. anytime that comes up and you get that thought like something's wanting to drive you away, you'll want to go into it. You'll get to the point where that'll be the good part of it to you. Instead of being the part you worry about, it'll be the part that you seek because man, once you start overcoming and you realize you truly can overcome absolutely every single thing. There is nothing on this planet that I can't overcome. I will even overcome death. I will be in everlasting life with the Father after this, after I drop my body. I have even overcome death. So truly, in that way, you can overcome every single thing, every single thought. You just have to stay with it, just like what you're doing. Just keep watching, keep looking inward, and make sure that you're watching for those moments for God to reveal to you, and that you don't let those moments go by. And a lot of them happen in anger. When you're angry, God's giving you an opportunity to look and see that anger is inside of you, but it's not you. But we just get angry and we miss it. And so those moments of overcoming and seeing that are very important.
Yeah, I definitely don't hate my life, and I definitely appreciate the opportunity to keep pushing forward and overcoming that. But I definitely don't see death as a bad thing anymore. Like never having to have a trial again, and just being reunited with peace and love and God. You know, like that doesn't seem like a bad thing to me. And yeah, one day it'll be something to overcome the death.
That's what we talked about tonight. That first death and that second death. Were you in on that conversation that we were having?
No, I came in later.
In Revelations 2, chapter 2, verse 11, it says, he that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit say unto the churches. He that overcometh shall not be hurt of the second death. And so when I read that today, because I read Revelations today. When I read that, I knew instantly, I was like, oh man, that's so deep. I'm definitely going to have to talk about that. And it's just very interesting that they talk about the first death and the second death. And and that kind of relates to what we're talking about here. Do you know what they're talking about in the second death and what they are and what the first
I
and
think
second
the
death
second
is?
death is like definitely the death of the body. You know, I think we die. If you're on this journey, you die to yourself at some point. Um, like almost spiritually, you kind of have a spiritual death. You know, whatever it is, and the ego death, the death of the you. You know, uh,
That first death that they're talking about is that ego death. And that's why it says that if you're overcoming, those who are overcoming the second death, you won't feel it. There'll be no pain in the second death because as soon as you drop the ego, the second death isn't even real anymore. That is just of the body, of the flesh, and you'll feel nothing in it because you will have everlasting life with God. So that's what they're so yeah, the first death is dropping that ego. And so um you still got that ego? You still working on that?
yeah, I think I'm still working on it. I think it's definitely a lot quieter, and he's definitely less eager to show his face, but he shows up sometimes for sure.
God pulls you away a little bit at a time and a little bit at a time. You notice that he doesn't do too
Mhm.
much to overwhelm you. He gives you that just enough. He pulls you as long as you're allowed,
That's
letting
mercy,
him to
my
come in
friend.
and
I love that mercy, you know, because yeah, I know I'm easily overwhelmed. I'm much less so now. Um, but yeah, a little bit at a time. That's the only way to do it. Somewhere in the Bible it says, "He that uh, gathers wealth like unjustly comes to ruin, but he who gathers it little by little uh, has a prosperous life." And I don't think that wealth is physical wealth; it's
spiritual.
spiritual wealth. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice. Yeah. So like I said, sounds to me like you're doing it. God definitely sees you're doing it. He knows that you are working on yourself. Um, is your mom and dad still around?
So I was raised by my stepdad. He's still around. My him and my mom aren't together. They got divorced when I was 9, and my mom's still
Gotcha.
around. But my
Gotcha.
birth father passed away.
Have you about going and forgiving?
We've definitely talked about it. My mom, like every 3 months, just comes at me and apologizes for my childhood, and I'm like, "You're already forgiven. I'm not holding a thing against you." And then with my dad, it's definitely a little different. I know we've had the conversation, but I think I'm a little fearful to get that deep with him for sure. You know.
You need to see that it's not your dad or your stepdad that you're overcoming, but it's the devil. And that's what you're afraid of. That's why he's got you shaking in your boots. But I assure you, if you go and you face that and you face Satan, you'll overcome it. And it not only will be good for you, it'll be good for him. Even as the parents, if they see you overcome that spirit, there's a chance that they may see that and overcome that as well. Now you're not doing it for that reason. Obviously, you're just doing it for yourself, but you just never know what's going to happen.
I think it's more
You
like
could bring.
I'm afraid of like losing him, like I like being able to call him and talk to him and like connect with him, and I'm afraid that if I go that deep with him, he might pull
Imagine,
away.
imagine how crazy to think that you're going to forgive somebody for anything they've ever done to you, and you're worried that they'll never talk to you again for it. Isn't that wild? Isn't that
That is
deep?
wild.
That's thoughts, man. Those thoughts keep you from forgiving for the rest of your life if you let them control you. You cannot listen to that thought. Not you. Those thoughts, it is truly just Satan. He knows, again, Satan knows if he can keep you from forgiving, he's got you right where he wants you. And if he's got you in fear and you won't go do it, he'll keep you right there. You definitely, if you feel that, you have to overcome it. Man, just go through it, overcome it. Whatever happens, don't let that, you're good. So
Boy, it's breaking up really bad. It is. Let me.
it's clear
I can't
here.
hear.
Every-
I can't hear a single word. I don't know what happened.
Everything looks really good. Everything's
Oh,
all
now,
clear on
now
my end.
I got you back now.
No, it was all good. It was all clear here. But I was just saying that, uh, shoot, uh, went in forgiving your dad, those things that you're worried about, those thoughts that are holding you back. Satan loves that, man. Satan absolutely loves that he's holding you back with those thoughts that you're worried that, when you go and forgive somebody, that they're going to be mad at you for it. So that's not him. You have no idea. You know what I'm saying? So save that worry for after you do it. Go and do it, and then if something happens, then deal with that moment, right? And you'll be able to overcome that. You'll maneuver through that perfectly. God will show you exactly how to get through that. And if your stepdad or your dad, I think you said your stepdad, if he hates you for it, let that be, man.
Well,
That
I
is not
think
in you.
we pretty much said everything we need to say with that. Like he's always been so open with his mistakes, like, and he owns them, and he's anytime he's ever like blown up in anger with me or overreacted with me, he apologized to me and I forgave him right away. Like, and then
Mhm.
like I feel like even in like I was so whacked out of my mind with like drugs and alcohol. He even had that
Mhm.
conversation with me then, like while I was in that state, and I vaguely remember it, like him being like, "I'm sorry that I never overcame my anger." Like I remember that conversation with him. It was pretty crazy. I
That's
think that's
awesome.
rare. I think that's rare from parents. So I think I'm really lucky.
I very, very seldom hear that. But even in this case, remember that when you are doing that, you're going to forgive. It's not for them; it's for you. And so, just because they've apologized or said anything, it's still for you. You still have to go and forgive them. Just tell them it doesn't have to be anything big. But as long as you just tell them, hey, that anger ever since my childhood, and I've been resenting you for it, and I just want to let that go, and I just want you to know that I forgive you. And that's it. It can be as simple as that. You don't have to go into specifics or anything like that unless you want to. If you do, you can also that. But that way it's for you. Even though they've apologized or they've made it right with you, it's not for them. This part of it is for you. And so you just want to make sure if you've done it, you've done it, right? That's between you and God. I don't know whether you've done it or not, but I will say that if you haven't gone and said the words and faced them face to face with it, I would just go and do it, man.
And I
It
think
will not hurt you.
in the COVID era, I got really confrontational with him, and he pulled back on me pretty hard after that. Because I like confronted him on like everything he did, like, and I did it in anger, so it probably wasn't the right way, you know. Um, yeah, there's some wounds there on both sides that definitely need to be probably sorted out.
Yep. No, and as you go, you'll see. I mean, I don't want to tell you to rush into it, but I will say if you get it done, you'll be done with it and it'll be over with, and then you can move on. And you never have to deal with that again. You know that when you go and forgive, it's final, it's done. No matter what Satan tells you or whatever thoughts he puts in your head, it's done. You did it. And so, whenever you feel, that you're ready, if you need to, obviously, like I said, I don't know what you've done in the past, so but if you haven't gone it, I can tell you that it will absolutely change your connection with God. He'll see that once you've forgiven, He will forgive you. And man, that perfect love is like nothing else, brother. I can tell you that. I've never experienced anything like that before. And now I don't want anything else except for it. It's the only thing that I look for in life now is that God love from God, man. That perfect, unconditional, no judgment love. It's beautiful.
And where you said you only experienced that through your earthly father as a kid, definitely the only times I've ever experienced that were with my stepdad. Um,
Yeah.
like him teaching me how to hunt and fish and just learning to be silent. Like we could just be. There were times in my
Yeah.
childhood where we could just be silent with each other, and it was great. Like very interesting. Yeah, and I never really experienced that with anybody else in my life. It's very bizarre.
I had quite the opposite effect. I had none of that my whole life. I went 42 years before I ever saw perfect love in a man, in a human being. I had never seen that before. I didn't even know it was possible. I didn't know what it was until I saw the pastor of our church. And the first time I saw him and the way he dealt with people and the way he talked to people, it wasn't in a way of pleasing them, it was a way of pleasing God. He talked to them exactly how they needed to be talked to with perfect love, with no anger, with no fear of telling the truth. It was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen. And I knew right then, I said, man, I don't know what's going on, but I got to have what this guy's got. It was so beautiful and so powerful. It moved me. It changed my heart just in seeing that in another man. It changed my heart. And from that point on, I just went through it. Every single thing that I came against that I had to overcome or conquer, and then continuing through that, and finally forgave my mom, forgave my dad, forgave my stepdad. They didn't know how to do it. They never loved me. In fact, my stepdad, man, he was so angry. He was so mad all the time. That's where I got a lot of my anger from him because he came into my life at such a young age. And so it's really important to give those people that do that so that way you can release that from yourself. It totally changed me after that. And even with my mom too, I'm going to tell you right now, my mom never did anything intentionally to hurt me. Everything that she did in life, she was doing the right thing. But keeping me from my father because she thought my father was too wild to take care of me, that wasn't the right thing. She just didn't know it. She thought she was doing it. And I used to cry all the time. And I didn't I would just cry and cry. But then when I was with my dad, I never once cried for my mom.
I
Not
had
one
that
time.
resentment to my mom after my dad died, and I realized that I wanted to connect with my real dad on some level. And my stepdad, he never like tried to stop me from doing that either. He was like, I'm your dad. That guy made you, but I raised you. You're my son. But if you feel the need to go and find that out, that's fine. It was very interesting dynamic.
Nice to that step parents do that because most of the time it'll anger them. And for him to have said that, told you that it's your choice, I mean, that just shows that, his heart's in the right place. So, again, somebody like that, if you haven't forgiven them, man, dude, I would run to go and forgive them. Set yourself free of holding any anger for anything that ever happened in your life in your past from that. And yeah, be free of it, man. It's amazing.
Maybe that's what I gotta do. I've kind of felt like I've had like a knife in my heart for the last like 5 years. I've just been carrying it around, and I don't like what did I do or what did I not do? Trying to figure it out. So that might be it. Worth a shot. Might be something
If you're,
physical.
if you're,
I don't know.
yeah, the love of the Father would be what I would say. And because you're right there on his doorstep right now, and you're so close to returning to the Father, that longing even stronger than it was before. That feeling of what you're looking for inside, and yeah, going and forgiving will give you that because once you forgive, God will forgive you. He'll give you that exactly what you're looking for, that emptiness or that little something that you're still searching for. That will be it for sure. Once he gives you that and you see God gives you that love, because then you'll be able to give that to everybody. Once you see it from him, you'll give it to every single person. You can fall to Satan still saying that you can't fall to Satan, but you'll know the truth. If you're truly certain, you'll never look back and say, be done. It'll be over with. You'll never even think twice about it. So,
I'll give it a shot.
yeah. Just like I said, just smoke on it, think about it, look within. God will reveal to you what you need to do, and then whatever it is, just go through it. Don't even think about it, man. The more you think about it, the more you'll talk yourself out of it. Just go through it, because again, what's the worst that can happen? If you forgive somebody, what is the worst that can happen? They hate you for it, I guess. Oh, well, that's life. Deal with that. There's no reason for you to hold anger because someone might be upset about it. That's that perfect love thing that we talk about. In perfect love, you would go and you would tell them the truth and forgive them no matter what, no matter if it hurt them, if they cry, if they hate you, because you love them, man, with perfect love from God. Give them nothing but the truth. They do it, and so do you.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, yeah, I definitely saw different kinds of like discipline from that. Like, my mom was the only one that ever like got so angry where she like hit me. I never saw my dad do that. Like, he got angry and he spanked me and stuff, but like he always had a control with it. I think he definitely had a connection with, or has a connection with God. Um,
Yep.
yeah, I think that's definitely the next step for me. So thanks for opening up my eyes to that. I appreciate that.
100%. And I go through, if you need a little bit, more guidance. Of course, I would be glad to talk with you anytime, obviously, one on one or whatever you want to talk about anytime. Discord, I have it set up to where we just have a private conversation if you want to. But I have a fellowship called Overcoming the Spirit People. And I go through the steps kind of specifically if you're interested in just kind of watching that to kind of see the steps that I went through to overcome. And basically, it's just my own testimony of what I went through, what worked for me. I've seen it work for others. I went through it, worked for others, worked for me. I'm pretty sure it can work for everybody. I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure it can. So I would just go through and do all those steps and then see how you come out on the other end. Like I said, it's still a process. It's not for me. It's not Satan isn't gone from my life. He's still there. He's still trying to push the thoughts on me. So I still have to watch it and work on it all the time. I can't say if that ever goes away or not, but I can tell you that the amount of him leaning on me, man, barely even there anymore. Very few and far up. Just in my, and it's like usually when things are happening. Usually when something good's happening, he'll pop in to try and make me go back to ego, make me feel good about something. Help somebody. Oh, you feel. Those are the ones you. Those are the tricks that really
Yeah. I
nice. Well,
definitely,
amazing.
I think I long for that a lot of times too. Like I miss feeling good about myself. I miss the ego a little bit sometimes, but it's really nothing worth missing, you know?
Yeah, no, I understand missing it too. But you only miss it because you haven't quite made it the full transition yet. You're at that in between stage where you're overcoming, but you still have that ego burdening you. You haven't dropped the ego completely yet. Once it's gone, once you drop it completely, you'll never think about it again. It'll be done. You won't want it at all. It's just that, when we're still in state, I mean, feeling good, you've done it for your whole life, man. If you're like me, I wanted to feel good my whole life with drugs or women, alcohol, partying, friends, whatever it was always just about feeling good. I didn't care about other people. I cared about myself and feeling having a good time. So now that I ever again, there's never ever go back to. But that came with that full transition of completely overcoming that spirit. Because even just not that long ago, I still remember falling to the flesh, the ways of the flesh, very easily, slipping back into anger or the thoughts. It's all in the thought. You really, truly, everything starts with thoughts. I was talking about that with the Bible study. Every that had an issue with like drugs, sex, or whatever, every single person said the same thing. Well, I had a thought and then I acted, but instead of have you tried, they just said, well, you have the thought, now you need to control the action. Well, I control the action. Stop the thought, the action will never happen. They're just not taking it that step further to where they're telling people, like, hey, man, you can actually stop that at the thought. You don't have to go through, you have to let it become part of you. Just because it's there doesn't mean I can guarantee you that as soon as you feed into it. But yeah, the churches all do that, man. And it's not that they're bad people. They truly are trying to help each other, but they're just not quite getting that step of the thought, separate yourself from the thought. So try and make sure that thoughts pop in. Just watch them.
Or they're still trying to help
React.
people while living in unforgiveness or yeah.
Yeah, that happens.
They want to help people. They want to be viewed as somebody that helps people, but they don't want to go and forgive the people they need to forgive, like you said.
Yeah, that's exactly like what we were talking about. How you get that feeling when you first start overcoming, you want to tell everybody because you're still kind of stuck in that ego world, and you're like, man, this feels so good. I want to give it to this person. I want to give it to that person, but we just can't for us.
Yeah.
Really, I don't know if you caught that a fellowship on perfect selfishness, and it's the one time that allows us to be selfish is that journey to Him. You can't take anybody with you. It is for you alone. No one else. You can't take your kids. You can't take your mom. You can't take your wife. Nobody. It is your journey alone, and so that way, it's perfectly self. The only
It's so
time we can be self.
it was so disturbing to me the first time I watched The Pilgrim's Progress because yeah, he like discovers about like the truth and he just abandons his family immediately. He like
Yeah,
he's like I can't find any pleasure in my kids or my wife anymore. It's just not going well, So I'm just leaving. I was like,
and
how could you, But now it's like, oh, it all makes sense now, because
he's of overcoming. I guess you're saying. So when he leaves there, he starts his journey of overcoming that spirit that's inside of him. Then.
100%, yeah.
And what's the date on that movie? How old is it?
They've remade it like a ton of times. So there's like 10 different versions out there. It's like the second most popular book ever written, besides the
Okay.
Bible. Uh,
And what's it called?
the Pilgrim's Progress. It's like if you want your kids to really understand the journey and like what it looks like to overcome all the different spirits like despair, anger, resentment, all that stuff. It like really illustrates it really beautifully and in a way that everybody can understand.
have to check that out because it seems like it's in alignment with what we're talking about here. So,
Oh, 100% it is. Yeah, I think you'd really enjoy it. It's definitely worth a
oh,
watch.
definitely going to check that out for sure. Man, absolutely amazing. What's going on in chat? Are these guys fighting? I don't know what's going on in chat. I haven't even been paying attention. I know what happens down here when we start doing our thing.
Oh, I'm sure I've been getting blasted in the chat. Yeah, I've not been paying attention. I'd rather not. I'd rather not know.
I don't. Oh man, I do not think they're paying attention to us in the least little bit. They are.
That's so funny.
They're
That's
having
what
a.
happened with you and Labola. We all got so caught up in our own little side conversations, you know? It's like a real fellowship, you know? Like me and you were having a conversation, they're all having a conversation. Pretty cool.
Catching in little parts, but they're in their own world in there too. Yeah, no, it's absolutely amazing. So, but yeah, I guess is there anything else you want to talk about while we got you here?
Nothing comes to mind. I can't believe we've been going for an hour and 40 minutes already. That happened quick.
Uh, yeah, time fellowshipping. I know that.
Yeah. Well, that was cool. It's my
Nice.
first
Well, I
ever YouTube live. That was a new experience for me. Yeah.
guys, everybody check it out, man. He's overcoming just like Ebola. You guys are overcoming in real time, setting real life examples for people to see. You got, that's like beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful that you would put yourself out there through embarrassment, fear, doubt, anxiety. You would put yourself out there and all that to overcome every one of those things. I think it's a great example. Everybody needs to be more like you, like Ebola, like me, like all of us that are out there setting those examples of overcoming. Man, it's absolutely
I,
beautiful.
I
So
think when you're on the on the journey to back to the Father, all you care about is the next step, and if it takes some embarrassment and some shame, it's all worth it. You know?
good. It's helpful. That's right. It's absolutely beautiful. And also too, hopefully you'll come back and hang out with us again.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that'd be cool.
And we're in the Discord now, so if you need anything, you message me on Discord. Like I said, if you ever need to talk or anything at all, I mean, I'm always here to help out with whatever I can. I don't have all the answers, but I'll give you whatever I got. So whatever God has revealed to me, I
I'm gonna take
share it
that
with
next
you.
step you gave me though, and have that talk with my dad. I think that's an important
Do
one.
it. It's going to be it's going to blow your mind. Just don't have an expectation, but just let it happen. And if you don't, it's gonna blow you away, man. It's gonna absolutely. You're gonna be wanting to go and forgive so many people after that. You're gonna be wanting to do that again because it's gonna be amazing. So it'll truly be. For me, it was one of the best things ever. But you have to see it for what it is. That's why you can't really have an expectation because if they were to get mad, you wouldn't want to hold it against yourself or something like that. So just don't have an expectation, but just know that God has that perfect plan for you, and it's going to be amazing.
Yeah. What do you think about apologizing too? Should I
Well,
apologize too, or just forgive?
yeah. If you've held resentment, absolutely apologize for holding resentment for resenting them. 100%, you should apologize for resenting them, and that's why
And
you are.
also disregarding all of the very sound advice. He was right about everything. You know, he warned me about everything and everything that was going to happen, and I was like, "Oh, I'm going to go and do whatever the fuck I want anyway." And then all the stuff he said was going to happen happened. It was crazy.
And about that part, it's only simply because that he didn't guide you away from that spirit that's inside of you. That's really the only thing that you're forgiving him for. Nothing else. All of that stuff that he taught you and that he gave to you, that's all perfect. None of that is the part that you're upset about. It's only that part where that spirit of your mother was able to control you and now you're stuck with it still. And he just had the responsibility to protect you from it. It was the only thing your dad was supposed to do. He had one thing to do, and that was to protect your spirit from that evil, from that anger that comes into it. I'm sure that when you talk to him, it sounds like with as smart as you make him sound, he's going to understand exactly what you're saying. I think it's probably going to be absolutely amazing. I don't know. I don't want to, I don't like saying that because I don't want you to have a thought
Or
about
it can
it.
all
But
blow up, and that's fine too. You know, whatever happens, happens. But yeah.
truly give it to God. Don't even think about it. Definitely don't sit here and worry about it. Just do it.
Yeah.
And then whatever happens, you know what I'm saying? If you think about it, you'll build up all kinds of stories.
I'm doing it tomorrow. I'll let you know.
All about it. If you do, we'll have you back on tomorrow. You can tell us about it if you want.
Okay, great. Yeah,
You tell us all.
I'm not sure what I got going on tomorrow, but possibly. That's all I'll say now.
Whenever you do it, you come back and tell me you want to talk about it. I'll have you right back on in that moment. No worries.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Amazing. Nice. All right, awesome. Well, I guess we're probably gonna wrap it up here for the night. Appreciate you coming on and hanging out with us and
Yeah,
fellowship
man.
with us, man.
It's good to actually talk to you. I love your live stream. I'm always in here. So, yeah, it was really cool.
Thank you. I really appreciate it, and I appreciate all of you guys in here. And man, just stay with it. You're doing the right thing. Just stay with it. Don't give up, and let us know how it goes, man. Awesome. I can't wait.
Well, God bless, man. Thanks.
Yep. God bless you, man. Have a good night.
You too.
See you.
Bye.
Nice. All right, you guys, check it out. Hey, everybody in the chat. Nice. Look at all you guys, man. Thank you so much, you guys. If you guys haven't already, man, double tap that screen or click the buttons at the top and hit that like button for us. It will get us in the algorithm more, and we'll be able to do more and have more people in here for fellowshipping. I hope you guys enjoyed listening to me and Land. We kind of ignored all you guys in chat. I'm sure y'all were doing your own thing. I know that normally we like to talk to you guys and answer a lot of your questions, but I think that what happened here, you guys got a good insight, and it was very deep, and it was amazing. So I'm not even going to suss out any of these comments, you guys. We'll just leave these comments for you guys to sit with and think about it, and then we'll come back tomorrow and reassess. You guys, remember, keep in mind that first death, the second death that we're talking about in Revelations chapter 2, verse 11. That first death is the death of the ego. You must carry your cross just like Jesus did. He wants you to carry your cross, all those burdens, carry them to the Father, you guys. Let the ego die so you can be born again in the spirit of the Father. When the ego dies, you will be truly born again. And then that second death, you will have no fear of, because it is just the death of the body. Once you overcome, you'll have everlasting life. That death isn't even real. Just like Labola said, that death is fake. It is a death of the flesh, and that's not even you, you guys. You are a perfect spirit from God. Absolutely amazing, you guys. So keep that in mind. We'll be talking more about Revelation. Revelation was absolutely amazing. I read it today. We're obviously going to have more in-depth discussion about it, so I can't wait for that. But until then, you guys, thanks everybody for hanging out. It's been absolutely amazing. We will see you guys tomorrow again. We'll have a new topic, and you guys all come back and hang out with us, all right? Cool, man. Thanks everybody for hanging out. All you guys, much love. Connoisseur-ish, Zybran, Wookie, Michael, TCB, M1T. What else we got here? That's most of y'all that I see back here. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate y'all hanging out with us. You guys have a great night. Much love. Peace.